Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to this live stream of Chessable Masters Day 3. And this is Sagar Shah welcoming you to a very exciting game that we are witnessing right now. It's Ding Lijen versus Praggnanandhaa that we are following. There are other games also that we will check out, but Ding Lijen, world number 2, one of the best players in the world, facing Pragg. Pragg has already defeated world number 1 Magnus Carlsen, and now let's have a look at what he's doing against Ding. Pragg has a very nice pawn formation in the center. Do you know, guys, what these pawns are called? Does anyone know what they are called in chess? Yes, hanging pawns. Riddhi 8e. Fantastic. Hanging pawns. Nayan Goenka, you are right. So, right now, Praggnanandhaa can actually push his pawn to f5. By the way, for all the people who have just tuned in and are not following this event, I just want to show you the standings of this event after 8 rounds have been completed so that you have an idea as to who is leading the tournament, and top 8 get selected. Today is the third day. So these are the standings right now. Wei Yi is leading with 18 points. Anton Guyaro in number 2 position. Magnus Carlsen number 3. And then we have Anish Giri, who is on number 4. Pragg is on top 8. And Harikrishna is on number 7. Ding is on number 6. Vidit is on number 13. He needs a good day today desperately if he has to finish in top 8. It would be truly amazing if all of the Indian players finish in top 8 after 15 rounds, but it will not be easy. Let's go back to the game. F5 has been played by Pragg. Let's also get a few more players on our screen. We also have Vidit, who is playing against Sam Shankland. So Vidit Gujarati here, and he is playing against Samuel Shankland, who is one of the top players from the US. Shankland. I'm not able to find Shankland here. Maybe he's missing amongst all the players. So let's have a look at that game. How is Vidit doing? Oh, Vidit is completely winning. What has happened? How did Vidit land up in a completely winning position so soon? So it was the English opening. All normal. Bishop e7. Castles. d3, bishop e6, bishop e3, f5. Rook c8, king h8, knight a4. All standard stuff. e4. Okay, knight e1. Knight d5. He played bishop c5. Okay, knight f6. Good move by Vidit. Defending his e4 pawn. Knight to c5. All pretty good. I think he missed that. Actually, Vidit can play a very strong move because he thought this is attack. This is attack. So Vidit has to go back bishop c8. But he missed that actually bishop d5 is possible. And the point is that after here, you go rook b8. Knight comes out, and then you take the pawn on b2. So de, fe, rook c3 was played, b6 pushing the knight, knight e5, rook d8, bishop goes back, attacks the queen, c5 gaining more space, knight d2. Now another classy move by Vidit, defending his e4 pawn, threatening knight d4, unleashing then the bishop here, knight b3, queen e6 was played, rook c4, bishop a6, cool move, rook takes e4. He had to give up material because if he went back, That would have been too passive. The knight jumps in. So rook e4, knight e4, bishop e4. Bishop takes a2 by Vidit, e2 by Vidit. Can't take here because this would hang. So rook e1, bishop f3, nice move. And I think it's time to call it a day for Shankland because he is clear exchange down. Not only that, knight d4 is a massive threat. So if Vidit wins this, he would, move up the ranks. Let's also look at what Harikrishna is doing. Hari is playing one of the best players in this event right now, David Anton. David Anton has been tremendous. He beat Praggnanandhaa yesterday. So Hari, who's playing with the black pieces right now, is under some pressure. It's an opposite colored position, opposite colored bishop position. Hari takes on d3. Now you can just take back. And if you count the number of pawns, it's equal. But these are some weak pawns for black. By the way, next round Vidit will play Carlsen. So good start for him. Let's also get Magnus Carlsen on the screen. He is playing Gawain Jones. And by the way, Gawain Jones has... What a game. Let's get Gawain Jones on screen. What's happening here? Magnus and Gawain. Oh, Gawain is disappeared. Where? Oh, he's back. He's back. With 1 minute to go. Bishop takes e7 is taken here by Gawain. Actually, what a game this is. Magnus went for some kind of a modern, Tiger's modern setup. Okay. b3, a3 takes, knight d4, bishop e7 has been taken. So your queen is hanging. If you move your queen, then everything is losing. Like you can't move the queen anywhere. Just super disco. And so knight b3 check looks most logical. King takes c2. If you take knight takes d2, then bishop d6 is game over. Mate or... This bishop cannot come in between. It's pinned. So you can't take here. So you have to give check. Once you give a check, I go to d1. Then you have to play bishop takes b5. Crazy game. This has happened. This has happened. Queen c8 played by Magnus Carlsen. Check here. Where do you go with the king? King b1, knight d2, check. So actually, yes, only move king d1. Gawain Jones finds it. Bishop b5. Magnus also finds this best move. Well, it's for a reason. He's the world champion. And now Gawain Jones' only move to stay in the game is queen g5. Impossible to find, guys. Almost impossible. I mean, you will think about bishop d6, right? But then king d8 and black wins. And with 1 minute in hand, how the hell are you going to find queen g5? No, it's not possible to play queen g5. Come on. Gawain Jones, what is he going to play? 35 seconds. He's really focused there. He's trying to think. He plays bd6. Of course, that's the only logical move. But now he's going to lose this. Because after king d8, good move by Magnus. For Magnus, it's not a question of whom he's facing. Gawain Jones, Caruana, Vidit, whoever, Praggnanandhaa. It's about finding the best move in the position. That's what Magnus loves to do. Okay, let's go to Praggnanandhaa's game and what is he doing right now? Pragg actually he has been outplayed by Ding legend because till here it was equal. We saw that f5 came in. In fact, he was even slightly better, but he went wrong somewhere. b4. Yeah, and he had to go c4 here, which is not the most ideal move because the knight gets the d4 square. But when he went d4, b takes c5, d takes e3, queen takes e3, Pragg has just lost material. Knight d4. So Pragg is worse. I think Harikrishna will be able to hold this to a draw. Magnus Carlsen is completely winning because he is now what? Many pieces up. I think after bishop takes d6, king d8, he went bishop e7. Yeah, he's a 2 pieces up, so Magnus will win this. Anish Giri has a slightly better position against Jordan Van Forest, and Anish would be itching for a revenge, like beating him. Let's see. Meanwhile, Vidit Gujarati has already won his game against Samuel Shankland. That's a great result. Actually, Vidit has a very good score with Shankland, it seems. Yeah, he's always able to do well. And now look at this move, BD1. Very nice move by Vidit. And if you were to play something like Queen C3, trying to save, then after Knight G4, I hit the rook and also I hit H2, and that is game over. So Vidit wins his game, and I think the most interesting game for now is Praggnanandhaa's. He has only 29 seconds. Of course, he's worse. And also, it's not like an unstable position here where Ding can go really wrong. He can make a mistake, but essentially the position is very calm because you have a passer, it's blockaded, moves like h6 very calmly are being played. So I think Pragg will lose this. Rook goes back. I don't know why Gawain Jones is still playing. He's playing. Oh, Gawain Jones was actually not losing because he had an extra rook. Oof, not 2 pieces up. I'm sorry, guys. He's lost here, but not like 2 pieces down. He has a rook for 2 pieces. So Magnus will win here. Harikrishna should draw, although his opponent is creating some threats. Okay, bishop g6, d4, bishop f7 might be a very clean way to hold the draw because c4 is hanging. If you push, a2 would hang. So that I think Harikrishna will manage. Pragg versus Ding Legend. Let's see if there is any turnaround in store. Oh, Pragg threatens a mate in 1 here with bishop c6 and queen g2. So f3 played by Ding, queen g5. Just looking at this rook, maybe at some point if the bishop moves away, like rook c5, bishop c5, queen c1 could become possible. So knight goes to h5. Threatening knight f4. Attacking the queen, g2 and h3 would hang. But here is a nice move. Ooh, he finds it. h4, very good move by Ding, because if you take here, what's the winning move here for white, guys? What is the winning move? I want a lot of you to answer this. White to play and win. It's coming up again and again, this concept. Shaimi Binoj is first. Riddhi, Just Gaming, Slightly Scatty, Parth, Sagar Chess, Aditya Chajed, Comeback King, very good. Azagu Sisters, Ronit. The answer is rook takes h6, check, and not just check, it's a mate. The pawn is pinned, game is over. So after h4, Pragg has played queen f4, but after rook c4, he resigned the game because his queen can no longer control the h6 pawn. So that's a very resounding win for Pragg. And meanwhile, you can see Jordan very unhappy in this frame, and Anish Giri, is he winning or what? Oh, Anish is completely winning. Let's have Anish on the screen. Yeah, Anish has won. Wow. Anish Giri beats Jordan Van Forest. And that too from kind of an equalish endgame. Like this was equalish. From this, he managed to outplay. Oh, this turned out to be a huge blunder because rook d3 and black is in the game. But why is this a blunder, guys? Yeah, there were two winning moves here. I think Anish found the prettiest one. Yes, Shaibi Binoj, you are right. King e4, Sumit Puri. Exactly, King e4, rook is trapped. Completely trapped. Rook cannot go here, 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 nowhere. And then if you go king g4 or king g2, I have check and I win this rook. Amazing. So Magnus wins. Hari draws against Anton. Good result for Hari. Very solid. Pragg loses to Ding. So Pragg has to come back. Nils Grandelius loses to Erik Hansen. Wow, Erik Hansen playing really well. Aryan Tari pushing in this. Sorry, he's on the defense against Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. This should end in a draw. Anish Giri beating Jordan. Wei Yi losing his first game. Oh, he's lost to Abhimanyu Mishra. Wow. The leader of the tournament loses to Abhimanyu. Vidit beats Shankland. But firstly, how did Abhimanyu beat Wei Yi? Question. It was a Najdorf in the game from e4, c5. And the only game that's going on right now is Aryan Tari versus Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. So let's get them on the screen and see them. Mamedyarov and Aryan Tari. There they are. I'll keep Anish on the screen so that you guys can watch him. Hello Anish. He's not these days free, so we can't have him on ChessBase India channel too often. So this we can make do with this. Okay, this was all prep. It's all perhaps well known stuff. And Abhimanyu was actually worse here. But he took some risk. He managed to... wow. Guys, here was a very fantastic move for black, which Wei Yi missed. Can you find it? Black to play. Yes, Magnus is playing in Olympiad. He's coming to India. There is a very good move here. Okay, Anish goes away. So he'll... Yes. Dibin John, well done. Mohit Chess. Aditya Jain. Akshit Mittal. Max Staff. Very good. Well, you can't play any move like a3 because then Knight takes f2. You are losing the queen. Please keep in mind your queen is attacked. But look at this move, bishop c3. If you take the queen, I go rook b2. If you go king c1, I have a very nice move and the only move to win. Can you once again find it, guys? Black to play and win. Only move. Let's see how many of you find. Shaibi Binoj finds it first. Very good, Shaibi. Moses. Pranav, if you play bd2, your rook b2 will hang. Lukash Varga, well done. Riddhi 80, Devansh Gupta, Harilal, Chess Codes, Rajesh, Comeback King, Yuk Shikhar, Chess Players Quotes. Very nice. Bishop d4 check, very important. So if the bishop goes anywhere else like bishop e5 or bishop f6, rook c4 blocks. So you go bishop d4 and it's a checkmate to the king. It's over. You have to block with the queen and I just take it. So Wei Yi could have done this, and if king a1, then there are many ways to win. One of them is rook b3, just mate. So he played queen a7, rook b4, a3, b3. Now bishop c3 should have been played, but instead he played queen c7, c4, and slowly Abhimanyu started to fight back. And there came a point where Wei Yi lost on time. Amazing. He lost on time, I think. Abhimanyu, great defense, great fight. He's better here, but I think Wei Yi might not have resigned here just yet. Abhimanyu must have won on time. This game is over. It's a draw. Draw on the board. And guys, the next round is about to begin very soon, in 10 minutes from now. And it is a very, very big round because we have Vidit Gujarati taking on the world champion. Vidit has not beaten Magnus in any format yet. Last time he was this close to beating him. Will he be able to beat Magnus this time? Let's also look at the standings to know how things are in this event. For now, let's see. So the standings are the following. Wei Yi has been joined by Magnus Carlsen at the top, just like how I am being joined by my better half, Amruta Mokal. Hello, Amruta. How are you?
Hi, Sagar. I'm good. How are you, though?
Wei Yi and Carlsen are now leading.
Oh, Carlsen has
Wei Yi
joined.
lost to
Huh.
Abhimanyu.
Oh, really? Abhimanyu beat him? That's a huge result we have.
Yeah, Wei Yi
actually.
lost on time, but the last position was better for Abhimanyu.
And what about Carlsen? He beat whom?
Carlsen beat Gawain Jones. Anish Giri beat Jordan Van Forest.
Oh, did Anish beat? I think he beat after some time, yeah?
Yeah. Anton Guyaro drew his game against Harikrishna. Ding Liren beat Praggnanandhaa. So you can see that there is this 18, 17, 16, 15 points. And then Pragg is on number 6 with 12. And Hari is also on 12.
Achha.
And Harikrishna is...
And Eric are on 11. So they, like, until 9.
Yeah, Vidit has
of-
come up. He beat Shankland right now.
Okay.
Eric Hansen also won his game. Eric Hansen managed to beat Nils Grandelius.
Okay. And do you want to take any 5-minute break or something, Sagar?
Yeah, I can take the break, but I'll be back in time for the next game, guys. You can also take some breather and come back because it's Vidit versus Magnus. Very, very big round. Yes, Amruta, you can take over and talk to people, and I'll just.
Yes. Guys, what's up? Did you come to the club today? How was it?
Anand won, by the way. Rapid tournament with 1 round to spare.
Yay! Awesome. 1 round to spare. Yeah. Now tomorrow is Blitz.
Yes.
फिर तो कल घर पे बहुत ज्यादा चिल्लम चिल्लाना सब होने वाला है. Neighbors are gonna come. What's happening? Complaints आने वाले हैं.
By the way, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe to this and also like the stream.
Okay, next game, guys. By the way, Magnus is going to be white and Vidit is black. What is your opening prediction? What is your result prediction? सब कुछ बता दो. Yug Shikhar says, I can't come to the club. I'm in Bangalore. Okay, then the club will come to you, Yug. किंग्स गैम्बिट. किंग्स गैम्बिट होएगा हिमेश तो फिर क्या बात है. नाचेंगे. विल डांस. सिसिलियन सेज डिबिन. सक्षम बोल रहा है E4 खेलो शांति से. E4 खेला तो शांति तो हो नहीं सकती. नहीं, E4 E5 में होएगी. कैटलन और ग्रुनफेल्ड से शिवम. Oh, Manikandan says Vidit will win. Pratik, Vidit OP. That's nice to see. A lot of support. Shubhojit has asked Sagar sir how to get knowledge of strategies. We will ask this question to Sagar, but if you can make it a little more precise, that would be good. Knowledge of strategies for what? काफी सारी strategies है. Aman Singh says E4 draw with 2 exclamations. Karandip Singh says, will you cover candidates? Yes, we will cover the candidates, but not by traveling, most probably. Arin says Nimzo Indian, Catalan, Italian, काफी सारा predictions है basically इधर for openings. I'm going to check. Bonk cloud नहीं guys, come on. If VD plays Petrov, then draw. Okay, but I don't think Magnus will play E4. So let's see which opening is gonna happen. Guys, what is your favorite opening though? What is your what do you play? It's ऐसा नहीं कि this is my favorite opening, but I don't play it. Not that way. Which is your favorite opening? Aman says, didn't know the exclamations will be taken so seriously. Yeah, every exclamation is important. You know, right? In annotations, in chess annotations, 1 exclamation means good move. 2 exclamation means a double good move. So इसके लिए काफी आदत है इधर भी exclamation लिखा तो it's like that excitement. Double exclamation, double excitement. E4 is my favorite. ऐसे बोल रहे कोई लोग. Prithviraj Patil is opening would be Scholars Mate. Prithviraj Patil, I'm going to suggest you to check one of the reels of Sagar Shah on ChessBase India related with Scholars Mate. B3 is my favorite. Okay, Vienna and Sicilian. Shubham is asking Amruta ma'am, where is my Sagar Bhai? Okay, your Sagar Bhai is going to join soon. Middle game strategy के books बताओ. Karandip Singh, what is your level? Middle game strategy में काफी सारे books है. Roshan Malla says big fan from Nepal. क्या बात है? You back? सागर भाई इज बैक. जो किसी ने तो पूछा था वेयर इज माय सागर भाई. एक्साइटेड फॉर दिस मैच इज गौतम. Static says, please organize some tournament in north side also. I'm from Delhi. अरे दिल्ली में तो बहुत tournaments होते हैं. Just static. Just have a look at the calendar. Maybe we have to also start putting our calendar link in the description. So
It's
that
there.
people-
It's there.
Acha, it is there?
Yeah.
Okay, great, guys. E4, E5 game. Sagar, what is your prediction of this opening? क्या होने वाला है right now? Which opening?
Magnus might go knight f3 against Vidit.
Okay, knight f3.
He will try to play something less theoretical, I feel, because Vidit is generally very well prepared.
I also think he'll try to go for original. Karandeep says 1800 LO. हाँ 1800 के लिए काफी मिडिल गेम के लिए books can be recommended. Firstly, if you have read Reassess Your Chess, that is a good book.
There's also very good books on endgames that you can study. Silman's endgame course. There's also 100 endgames you must know. If you want little tougher ones, then go for Dvoretsky's endgame manual.
In fact, Sam Shankland, who is playing here, he has also written Small Steps to Giant Improvement.
Yeah, it's about pawn structure.
Yeah, it's a lot about pawn structure. There is chess structures, which is very good. Very good. It's again, you learn the openings. Every game has a summary, every game has an objective, and you learn the openings based on the pawn structure, the pieces. Oh, no, you don't have battery.
अमन सिंह सेज एंड गेम आते आते टाइम ही खत्म हो जाता है. तो अमन थोड़ा लॉन्गर गेम्स खेलो ना. Oh, look at Magnus, what he has done. Amruta. He has gone d3 in the
Oh my god,
position,
you have to have that.
and Vidit is kind of surprised there as to why d3. Maybe he's just laughing. And what might happen, Amruta, is that if Vidit goes d5, Magnus will play d4 and say that I'm black now.
Oh,
No, he might not do that. He might play knight f3 here, but let's see.
Magnus is really this kind of a smile. It's a different smile. I mean, very
Yeah, small
subtle.
smile on his face.
With it, like this move, this kind of a move does give you some pressure. It's like, oh, you're showing disrespect to me in some way, or no, not d3 maybe,
Not
because
yet.
it can convert
Not yet.
to e4.
If he plays like, if Vidit goes something like e5 and he plays a4, then something is going wrong. But d3 is still within the realms of opening
Yeah.
theory.
But it's amazing because here you can, if you play c5, there is e4. Like,
People are saying king d2, he will go next.
oh, nice.
By the way, some moves have been played. d3, c5, e4, knight c6, f4. So we have now this Sicilian, which we saw Gawain Jones played against Praggnanandhaa. If you remember, Amruta, Gawain Jones had played this against Pragg, and Pragg
Right, I
had
remember.
gone
Dropping.
g6,
Yeah.
knight f3, bishop g7, bishop e2. He had gone knight f6, castles. Both players had castled. And then Pragg had played d5 at the right moment. Then b6, bishop b7 had happened, and he had won the game. So let's see what Vidit does. Vidit is actually thinking quite a lot for his move here. He's already down by a minute on the clock. But I think it's more to do with what setup he wants. And Magnus actually realizing, Amruta, that Vidit के साथ opening वगैरह is not very important. It's just that I want a fresh position.
I think in general itself in this tournament, especially we are seeing that they are wanting to play more original chess.
Yeah,
है ना?
knight f6.
काफी लोग, Anish is also kind of doing these opening tricks in some way. ठीक है, क्या हुआ आगे?
They are still thinking.
By the way, you had suggested Aman Singh to play longer games, but he says longer game खेलो तो बीवी नाराज हो जाती है. बहुत मुश्किल जिंदगी है सागर भाई. क्या suggestion?
Then you need not a chess book but relationship book, and I highly recommend seven principles of effective marriage. No, seven habits of, what is it?
भूल गए तुम. कौन सा इफेक्टिव है फिर ये? Siddharth Ranade says, Sagar bhai, can you put up a poll for this game?
Yeah.
Poll क्या रहेगा?
Who do you think? What will happen?
The result, yeah? Okay. So for all those who are saying I'm stuck at this rating and this rating and this rating, right now the time is to watch this game so closely, answer all the questions, and
No,
then
Amruta.
maybe this is gonna help you for sure.
Yeah, d6 happened, castle, knight f6, queen e1, and short castle. So this is how the game has moved forward.
So here the plan is very clear in Grand Prix. Usually, as we have seen guys yesterday, white goes queen h4. He goes f5. He generally gives a pawn sack, and there is this bishop h6 which comes, and knight goes to g5. And if you all remember yesterday, at some point even this sack is possible, and h7 is weak. So you have to be careful in defending for this Grand Prix.
Yeah.
But I think Vidit defends well overall.
Yeah, sure.
And it's interesting Magnus has chosen Grand Prix. So is Grand Prix now going to become
No, it's
famous?
not a Grand Prix, Amruta, with bishop on
Bishop on
e2.
E2, yeah?
It's more like f4 Sicilian, you can name it, or something like that. So he's played knight to c3 here. By the way, another important game of this round is Harikrishna versus Ding Lejeune, and you can see that
Oh,
Harikrishna
ye kya
played
opinion
very daring chess.
Alapin.
Yeah, it was Sicilian Alapin. e6.
E6.
He gave up a pawn just like that,
Nice.
and then he was ready to just. He's threatening this. But I think Ding Liren is just going to call Hari's bluff, and he's going to take this pawn. And after check, he will go king d8, and he'll ask Harikrishna,
Huh?
give me the account for these two pawns that you have sacrificed.
Hari can with the black king in the center. Knight c2 check. नहीं कैसल करना पड़ेगा सागर.
Just,
Oh, 1 second.
yeah, guys, here there are many ways to win.
Oh, it's rook c1 and knight e6.
Knight e6 and rook c1 both are winning. So here you may have to take on e3.
I think it's a great compensation for white. Not disposition. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy complication. Imagine, right? Right now the bar says black is winning with such a king.
But look at Ding. Look at Ding, how he's thinking.
Yeah, and he's thinking in a way where he wants to get out of that pressure of his king being weak. Bas.
Matlab, knight d8 is definitely an idea which looks safe on the surface. But knight d4 is something like, you feel ki haan ye work ho gaya to it's good.
But one more question which I would think of a move like long castle, allowing knight f7 and then considering knight d4. मतलब पहले ऐसा लगता है कि किंग को सेव करो.
Ah, that's also a way to play. But let's see what Ding does, because Ding and all these top players are very ambitious. They are not like Joe, I'm afraid of my king and all. They are more like, if there's a way that you can break through, like if there's a mate, he won't play it. But if he cannot see it, then why not? It's a very key pawn. Also, you're threatening this.
Yes. ठीक है, this is going to be interesting. What about the
by the way,
Praggnanandhaa update?
he long castle.
He long castle. I'm telling you, it's a natural. What are you doing? It's a natural move. It's a natural move to play. This is how, as you said, yeah. Today in the commentary, we were analyzing about engines. Oh, you have not released that video, na? Take care. Let me not say that joke. Let's see Praggnanandhaa's game.
By the way, guys, I have just got news from Niklesh that his channel is very close to 90,000. So if someone from our chat, some 90,000 subscribers, if someone from our chat can post the link of Hindi Chess Base India, he's just 16 subscribers away from reaching 90,000. So then can you guys go and subscribe to Hindi Chess Base India? That would be awesome. I'll put the link there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Amruta,
Yes. Let's have a look at Vidit.
Vidit went knight to d4, attacking the bishop and also the pawn on c2. So the bishop dropped back to d1.
I think this is an extra thing here, right? Bishop can go to d1.
Yeah. Now, bishop d7, queen to h4 was played. And now Vidit is thinking, because the idea is to, as we said, to attack this way, and Vidit plays bishop g4. So the question remains as to why did Vidit not go bishop g4 directly?
Graham Pawar is saying 90k complete.
Done?
Yeah.
90k done?
Yeah.
Oh, 90k
Oh,
done. Thank you, guys.
nice.
Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
So that is very cool. He's 10,000 away from reaching 100k, and his aim is to do that before the Olympiad begins. He works every day on the channel, putting up stuff. So please do check out his work, and if you like it, please do subscribe. It's a very nice and lively channel. I think, Amruta, the one thing which could have been which would have dissuaded Vidit from going here is knight d4, bishop d1 and knight f5.
Knight f5. Chalo, pehle to gf5 if I take. What's your
Queen
plan?
d1. And I am like I've
just
broken your king a bit.
Okay. And if I play bishop c, no, knight f5, bishop c2 ko knight g7, are you getting good compensation? Oh, my bishop will get trapped. Let's ask the chat. King g7 ko what should white play?
Oh, there are many moves.
Yeah.
So what changed in Vidit's mind that he went bishop g4 now? And now Magnus took on d4, taking cd4. Wow. Very interesting.
This is fine, no, for black, because c2 is a backward pawn. Where right now, where are you going to take your knight?
Yeah, also like if you
Bishop
take
takes
on g4,
suppose. Oh, he went knight e2.
yeah, if
But
you take on
suppose Magnus,
g4,
he would have
dc3.
taken, exactly.
And if b takes c3,
Then knight g4, queen g4, and I think oh no, let's ask
Yeah.
this is a good question. What should black play here, guys? What should black play? Yeah, Shaibi Binoj, Graham Pawar, Rajesh, Vikas, Chess Codes, Tamji Dalvi, Arnav Parth, and Subayan Roy. You guys are right. The right move is
Check.
queen b6 check. And the main idea is after bishop c3, the rook is trapped because b1 is controlled. And so this was a nice variation. What he played in the game was knight e2,
yeah,
rook c8.
attacking
Vidit
is
played.
c2. And if you played, by the way, here knight d4, then
Now
after
queen b6
bishop
anyway,
d1,
Acha, first bishop d1 you will have to take, and then I think queen b6.
yeah, at c3.
And for c3, what should you play? That's the
Yeah, this is a simple one.
question. Sorry.
e5 is the winning move.
Shaibi is on high alert right now.
Yeah, the knight is lost and clearly winning position. Well done, all of you who have found this. So here, Vidit is doing well in this position. He has around an equal
Right.
position. Queen f2. Magnus trying to put pressure here, but I think now e5 can also be played, just solidifying this.
This is a great position, and Vidit actually has slight initiative against Magnus
Yeah.
Sagar. Isn't it an amazing news with black?
He was queen b6. Well, maybe, but e5 might have been stronger. I want to just show you, Amruta, one game
Yes.
which is very interesting. That is Anish Giri versus Abhimanyu Mishra, and
Anish, how has he tricked Abhimanyu in the opening? Was he able to or no?
yeah,
That is
it
my
was
question.
this similar semi-Slav position that we saw yesterday, and he gave up. Look at this move. Just give up a pawn like that. We were taught that you should save your pawn if you want to go e4, queen e2, e4,
Yeah.
something like that. He just gave it up. Take rook e1. All preparation. Look at Anish's time. Boom.
Baap re.
Boom.
Baap re, 1647.
Exchange down. But knows his stuff still.
Very smooth, yaar. This what Anish can do is really impressive. And it's not easy.
Yeah, but
I mean, you cannot, like, we have seen Abhimanyu playing with Magnus, we have seen Abhimanyu playing with other people, but the way Anish has been able to get the opening, I don't think it's amazing.
yeah. I mean, Anish's opening prep is one of the best in the world of chess, and that he's proving here with his moves. So, bishop e1, maybe he wants to put his bishop on f2 or g3. White has one pawn and a bishop for a rook, but his knight is very well placed. Also, his bishop is nicely positioned. So, I think White has good compensation.
And is this going to be the game where Anish will win with more than 15 minutes in hand?
Who knows? Let's see. Meanwhile, knight f7 was played by Hari after Ding long castle, bishop g7. Took here, knight takes d4, queen d3, king d8.
King d8 क्यों मारा? Why not rook d8? Does it make a difference? Maybe not. No, yeah, it does, because यहाँ पे king b8 is easier to go.
Yeah, I think he should have taken with the rook. But he took with the king, knight to c3, queen c6, and now he has to castle. By the way, we have a member here, Anish Gomatam. Thank you so much for becoming the booster of Indian chess. Thank you, Anish.
Anish became the member, I think, while watching Anish's game. Gautam Arora says, Hi Sagar, I have been watching you on Amruta for past few months. Learned a lot of chess while watching your videos. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Gautam.
Thank you, Gautam.
Queen c4 has been played, and now I think Hari is slightly worse because he is exchange up, but he's couple of pawns down. So
And the central pawns look good for black. Also, now if this in the endgame, black's king is in center, which is a good thing.
So Hari should avoid queen trade. He might go queen h3. Let's quickly check, Amruta, the game between...
Praggnanandhaa's game, I don't think we have checked, Sagar.
Yeah, Erik Hansen he's playing against. Pragg has a very nice edge. And here is a typical move that you should play with white. White to play, what would you play? It's a move that if Karpov was given in the middle of the night, he would play it without even opening his eyes. What is the move?
You're saying like a chess player can make better moves or can make even good moves with left hand. कार्पो जैसे कोई आंखें खुली हो या ओपन, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
So the move here, many of you want to play knight e5, but I think then c5 and black seems to have kind of equalized. So my move here, Amruta, what's your move?
I was thinking about two moves. One was bishop d3 and the other one was h4.
What?
No, both are bad, it seems. क्या
No, the
है?
move is c5.
Oh yeah, c5 भी देखा था for black.
And I'm
So
blocking your
obviously.
bishop to open up because both your moves, both the
Yeah,
moves
bishop d3 को c5 भी देखा मैंने black
is,
का.
is
And
met with
exactly,
c5.
you're so right that white should play c5. How stupid.
So Navi Saini, Devesh Wadhwani, Harilal P, certified genius, all of you, Arjun Balamurli, Soham Saha, well done. c5 is the best move here. Let's see if Pragg plays it. I think Pragg is still thinking for his move. Meanwhile, Anish has managed to plonk his bishop on this beautiful square on e5. So that is good chess. And here, after queen f2 in the game of Carlsen and Vidit, knight d7 was played, a4, a5, rook to a3.
Why is Magnus out of the screen? That's what people are like.
Where is Magnus?
Oh, Magnus.
Oh, he switched off his camera only.
You?
No idea.
Did he switch? No, I don't think it would be auto off, right?
I can't
Yes,
see
sir.
him. Can't see him. I've put his camera, but we can't see him.
And where is Praggnanandhaa in the frame? Is he in the frame?
Yeah, Pragg is here. And his opponent is here. Eric. But Amruta, look at this. a4, a5. Rook a3, knight c5.
Oh, then what is the rook doing on a3? b3 भी नहीं है, c3 भी नहीं है, a4 भी नहीं है, d3 भी नहीं है.
I think Vidit is having a good position, no, here?
I like his position for sure. When you said e5, like even here, like to make a move like e5, कभी कभी ये हो जाता है, काफी committal है.
Yeah, because this bishop gets
Correct.
completely blocked.
Anyway, it is. So, I think black has a simple idea. If he wants to pressurize on c2, the d1 bishop does the work. So there is no point of going rook f c8,
Yeah.
right? And then weaken your f7 also because you allow f5 then maybe at the right time. So what else is possible? First, I thought rook f8 is a simple idea.
I was thinking that if black can go f5 here at the right time, just play f5, stop white from going f5.
So you are saying that there are two possibilities. One is f5 and one is e5 for black. This is going to create a confusion. How should the audience, how should the audience decide
Yeah.
to evaluate whether f5 is good or e5 is
But
good?
now Amruta f5 might get very strong. But in that particular position where I was thinking that e5 would be good was somewhere around here. When,
No, not here.
No,
Knight
take
e2,
knight e2
queen f2 के बाद
and now
bishop e2, no, rook c8. Either you mentioned e5.
Yeah,
So the
and
question is, what happens if f5?
if f5 works, then white is doing very well because he can trap this, but black does d5. And once it's like even a small flank attack is met with a break in the center, and I think black is doing really well.
Okay, yeah. If I play knight g3, just still holding on here for the e4 and d4 pawn. And let's say if you take, I take on d1. So this still is good for black, right? That's what are you saying?
Yeah. Black is doing very well after d, and something like queen b6.
Yeah,
Rook
because the
d8.
f6 knight cannot be pressurized more. Even if white gets bishop g5, you have rook c6 and you can
Yeah.
always stay strong. Got it. So after f5, f6 नहीं आ रहा है. So इसके लिए e5 is fine here. Whereas in this position, we don't want to go e5 because f5 से problem होगा. That's
But
why.
Magnus played f5, Amruta.
हाँ. But now it's not as dangerous because there's a pawn on e7. तो f6 का टेंशन नहीं है ना. I like queen c6 idea.
By the way, queen c6 attacks a4, and here Magnus could have played like h4, h5, try attack, but he went bd2, and it's this small hesitation which should give black a chance to take here, because if you take bishop a5, I have b6. Next move I'm taking on b2 as well.
So that's a choice if you want to take on a4. But what if you just defend with b6 and stay solid?
That's also possible. Without taking on a4, just play b6.
Is h4 still strong in this at this point?
Yeah, it's always a threat. Like you, but I win a pawn, and you can always keep on attacking. I can try to capture a few pawns. So yeah, I think here Vidit has a decision to make. Should he go b6 here, or should he take on a4? That is the question. He takes on a4. He chops it off. It's the best move, Amruta.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Also, look at this. c4 might be also one of the things that Magnus might think of, because now after knight c5, bishop a5 is hanging. But look at this move. D takes c3, bishop takes a4, hitting the queen, but I go b5, and now your bishop is hanging. This bishop is also hanging. So black is just completely better.
Nice.
So
Vidit
knight
को
a4.
advantage है,
What
and the
does-
time he's also high on.
Yeah, he has more
Wow.
time. He has a slightly better position. So very well placed against the world champion. And we have a huge
super chat by Ramit Malhotra. Oh, hi Ramit.
hello Ramit. So good to have a chess morning again amidst all the inflation, war,
Depp.
recession. Acha, Johnny Depp. Scares. Sagar wishes complete demolition of the field at 51, 52 Ramit. He's 69 born. While terrifyingly awesome, mandates some soul searching for the younger Indian players, right? Well, I feel players like Pragg, Nihal, Arjun, Raunak, Gukesh, they are all 16, 17, so they definitely are reaching there. They haven't yet slowed down at all. While of course for players who have been at the top for more time, they definitely can see that Vichy even at this age can perform this way is amazing. By the way, Amruta c4 has been played in the position.
That backward pawn has actually pushed itself. Question is, Sagar, first, en passant or no passant?
If you don't do op passant, Amruta, then I take here b6 and then I go back, and notice how the rook defends d3, so your knight doesn't take it. So and now b4 is coming, so
No, but knight b2 था ना मेरे पास.
हाँ उन्होंने
That's
मारा,
what-
that is Vidit has taken, but he should have played dc,
Okay.
bishop a4 and b5, and here he would be doing really well. I think this is the point where which
DC bishop a4 b5, you are giving a piece sacrifice.
yes,
or
because
what?
no, but both bishops are attacked. So it was just a temporary sacrifice. But Vidit took on b2, and now here he went bishop f3. So Magnus is telling Vidit that your knight journey on the corner of the board is not such a good idea, because your knight is now a little bit misplaced. Meanwhile, I have e5 threats in the position.
I think bishop f3 जैसा move you can miss. क्योंकि अब तक bishop f3 was such moves which are not in consideration for a long time and suddenly they pop up na.
Yeah.
Those are the difficult moves. But maybe Vidit has seen
Look
because
at
he
Vidit.
played b5 pretty instantly.
He's just so focused. He's like, I really want to beat Magnus, but somehow look at Magnus, so relaxed. Okay, what should I play?
Magnus ने नया haircut किया है क्या?
Takes on a5. Yeah, Magnus
Yeah.
always has new haircuts. Now what, Amruta? c7 is hanging, b2
Yeah.
is hanging.
There's a pin coming there ना. नहीं रुक a7 को queen b2 है. Maybe I'll have to give an
Oh,
exchange sacrifice.
Oh,
Nice.
take.
Knight d3, rook d3 forced.
Take.
bc4.
Here.
Nahi, maybe I'll move my rook. Rook
but
a3.
take here, no?
Okay, take bishop c7.
Queen c7, right?
Yeah.
And now
I'm a full rook down, okay, right now. Rook d4. Why? If I don't give my rook back, can I not just simply... No, this position is like with 3 pawns super strong, yeah?
Yeah, these are strong
3
pawns.
pawns are stronger than a rook.
So Vidit has to really
this
think
is
about it,
difficult,
because Amruta, his rook is hanging, his knight is also hanging. How should he?
Sagar Chess Amruta asks, will Magnus blunder today?
Well, I think right now he's in the driver's seat. Looks difficult. Meanwhile, Anish Giri playing calmly and coolly and has managed to gain a very big advantage without doing much with his very good opening preparation.
And what about Hari? Very quickly, what's the update for Hari and Praggnanandhaa?
Hari lost his game.
Yeah, Hari. The opening actually didn't work out for him at all, in fact. Praggnanandhaa का क्या हुआ?
Praggnanandhaa also didn't play c5, Amruta. He played knight e5, allowing c5.
That is surprising actually.
Yeah.
Praggnanandhaa did not go for c5.
But he's still slightly better, but let's see how it goes. Going back to Vidit's game against Carlsen, bishop takes a5 has been played. And Vidit is, I think, a little bit worried about what he should be doing here.
How is the move? He played, kya?
What did he play? Yeah.
This has happened on the board.
Yes, this has happened.
What? Wow.
Vidit has sacrificed a piece and now has these two monstrous pawns. Is this a bluff?
Oh my goodness.
But you know, Amruta, I think, let's say if I take here.
Yeah.
You are discussing that this position
this
should be totally better for white.
Giving
because,
back the exchange.
Yeah, giving back the exchange.
And then
pawn
becoming a piece up.
Yeah, piece up.
You're
Sorry,
piece up.
But here, instead of taking the c7 bishop, I can take d3 rook. But now my pawns have lost a bit of flexibility, and after bishop a5, I'm still piece up.
Yeah, no matter what, you are landing up as a piece up.
Yeah, you're looking.
But even with being a piece up, the pawns being only on one side, thoda to difficult hoga na. There would be.
Also, you have two pawns, no, Amruta? It's not like you're just.
Yes.
So right now, Vidit has 4 minutes 7 seconds. Magnus has 4.5 minutes. Let's see what Magnus chooses here to do. He plays this move f6, Amruta. Did you even consider this move?
Oh,
f6.
No. I didn't.
His point is, if you take bishop f6, he has e5, hitting the queen and the bishop. Wow. And if you don't take it, and if you play ef6, then I play rook d4, winning.
So Magnus is of course very alert in trying to activate his bishops, na? Suddenly both the bishops.
Too good. I think Vidit should take.
King takes.
King takes.
Queen d4 check aa raha hai na beech mein. No, if you go queen d4 check e5, then you are fine. Bishop c7 he'll play. Queen c7 and then queen d4 check. That should be over, in fact, because you are losing all the pawns also, almost. No?
Yeah. Just better for...
So, is this the forced variation we are entering right now? Because f6 was really amazing and very much possible to miss, right? Such a move.
Yeah, and this has happened, Amruta. After f6, Vidit took the rook. He's taken on g7, king g7, bishop c7, queen c7 and queen d4. Now Vidit goes back and Magnus takes this. So Vidit has 2 pawns for a piece. But will this be enough to hold?
No, I doubt. But फिर भी Magnus has to do some hard work for sure. I think in the whole game, things very well changed since the move bishop f3 was played.
Yeah.
And it did come kind of all of a sudden. Sometimes you do miss the other side.
Yes.
Brilliant play by Magnus, though.
Yeah, f6 was really cool. But now, Amruta, I think it's not so simple still for white to win.
Can he create a fortress, black? Okay, let's tell me what can be white's plan. That is important. If I am thinking, if you want to win, king pe pressure. So the white h3 pawn, I think, should go to h6.
Yeah, push, push, push. But most likely after h4, he'll go h5.
Then there will be g4. तो काफी exchanges होएगा. Yeah, not so easy. The second thing is maybe first try to activate your rook and yeah, bishop goes to b3. So you are tying down one of the piece.
Yeah, bishop b3, just putting pressure here.
I'll have to go e6 when you play bishop b3.
But you can go f6 also.
Oh.
Much better, I feel.
So it's not so easy, yeah? It's not so easy.
Yeah, it's not so simple here. And let's see what Vidit comes up with, because his position is quite difficult here, Amruta, but it's not totally lost. Like, imagine if you get rid of the queen. For example, you play queen d5 and I take and take. This might not be so simple to convert, because I can go rook c8, I can put my rook here, keep this defended, put my pawn on h5. There are limited weaknesses in the camp, so it's not so simple to win. You need a lot of time, patience to win. But you can see how Magnus has rerouted his bishop to put pressure here. Once you play e6 in such positions, then d6 becomes weak. So then you can directly attack it.
But even if you attack, that's the whole point. It's a dark square pawn. Rook d8 ke baad what? You can't attack. And there is no pawn going to e5. I mean, in this situation, queen on e5.
No, this is a weakness and this is a weakness. So somehow I will keep on trying to attack both of them and figure a way out to break through.
And for one of the weakness, my king is closer, which is a good thing. By the way, Siddharth had asked in that game, Sagar, if that extra piece was a knight, how would the assessment change?
Here?
I think knight was better, right?
Yeah, knight in such positions could be better, because there are it's a localized play now with the pawns being just here.
Correct. Knight at least f6 पे आने को try करता था. d6 weakness हुआ तो then you shift your knight. Knight can attack any square. That's also true.
So he's played rook to a8. Wants to get in maybe. What is the poll answer?
Poll.
The answer of the poll that we will put up was Vidit wins 44, Carlsen wins 35, draw 23. But I think now, right now, if we did the poll, it would be Carlsen wins maybe 60, Vidit wins maybe 10, draw 30, something like that. Now he's threatening this here.
Rook a7 पे.
Yeah, rook a7 looks good.
इतना भी आसान नहीं, अलग ही लेवल का फोर्ट्रेस होएगा. This will be again an unusual fortress.
Yeah. By the way, Abhimanyu Mishra versus Anish Giri. Anish totally better now. He's just totally crushing it. He has to take on d5, cd5 and ab4 to put pressure here. And, white is winning. White is winning. Anish is winning. Praggnanandhaa versus Erik Hansen. Pragg slightly better, but I think Erik is fighting back.
Yeah, with this exchange, I think most probably it will be difficult to convert this, right?
Yeah. Let's see if Pragg manages to put more pressure. So had Hari versus, he's lost to Ding already. So which
Hari has lost already, yeah?
Yeah.
So let's what about the other results? Have they come? No, Wei is still playing. And Aryantara is also playing. Mohamed Arrow has won. Okay, this is interesting to see because Vidit has only 1 minute. Magnus has 4 minutes. He's played h5. So if Vidit is able to block this and get this structure with h5 and g5, that's a very good fortress, I would say, with the pawn on dark squares.
Yeah. But let's see. I mean, Magnus will find a way here. He has played. You remember that sixth game of the World Championship match where he managed to outwit Nepo by just maneuvering.
Yes.
He's very good at such things.
For this position, guys, especially for this, let's put a new poll, Sagar, because right now the question is, or otherwise, let me ask just people over here. What do you think? Can Magnus find a way to win? Yes or no?
Bishop c4. Keeping an eye here, also here.
Yes, 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 no, yes, no, no, yes, yes.
Yeah, because
yes.
it's not
Most of them
simple.
are saying yes. Okay, one more question to you guys. In this whole evaluation, what do you think is the how much is white better? You know, the evaluation bar generally says +1, +2, +3, that kind of +2.5, 2.7, 5.6. What do you think? Without looking at the engine, guys. Roughly, what do you think? This
Oh, he's
has to
offered a
be
queen trade.
draw.
Rook d7, very good move.
Now one rook has gotten
Because if you take,
1.5.
now how do you protect this?
1.5. 1.2, 1.
5.
4 रहेगा तो Magnus would be winning, right? If it is 4, then Magnus is winning.
Yeah,
so it is, guys, it is around 1. It is ranging from 1.5 to 2, roughly.
Maybe
Roughly
queen
like
e5
that.
back.
No, this Vidit will hold. But if Vidit holds this, huh, Sagar, the way knight d3 के बाद how things turned out,
Yeah, if
and
Vidit
right now
managed,
also very calmly he is able to hold in that sense.
Vidit managed to hold, Carlsen versus India would be in India's favor. The 3 boards, because Pragg won, Hari drew, and now Vidit is drawing if he manages to hold.
Yeah. Rook d7. Go queen e5.
Yeah. Or just take and.
But queen f3 ko gf3 na, then will you not lose the d6 pawn?
Yeah, but I will lose it. But look at this. Take, and I go g5. Rook takes d6, king f6, and I'll put my king in the center. He goes back to g8. He has played his queen here, Amruta. Actually, Vidit gave few checks. Put here g3, king g8, bishop g2. So Magnus says, I want to put my bishop here so that my king will be safely positioned on h2. And Vidit is just moving his king back and forth. He's like, Magnus, find the way to break through. It's not my job, it's your job. You find the way to win.
Yes. Okay, now the pawn structure is fixed. g3, h4 के बाद.
Yeah, h4, g3 has been.
Abhi, whenever g4 break happens, that white's h4 pawn is really going to be weak. So वो सब तो अभी के लिए till queen exists on the board is out of question.
Now again, king g8 looks like a logical move, right?
Correct.
Because or you, Amruta, go for this endgame where you are losing this pot.
No, I mean, practically I would never go into this. With
Still,
the position I had, I mean.
It's not 100% clear how to win. Anyway, he's gone queen d4,
And
queen
now
f4, putting pressure here.
Oh, is he going to lose one pawn? Is he getting any perpetual? Hey, what about?
No, king h2 is just safe from all attacks.
Mm.
You can't
How
even
much?
activate your
I
rook
can't
because
even
this
go.
is hanging.
Yeah, but even if I go there, even if I get rook a1 as you said, yeah, king h2 के बाद queen g1 is the only check.
Yeah.
Queen e5. Oh, एक pawn गया. Now this is difficult, na?
Yeah, very difficult.
Now this is difficult to hold. Rook c8. Still, let's see. Let's see. Rook d3. h4 is still weak. Rook c2.
No, this is very difficult, Amruta, to
Yeah, with the pawn on g3, at least it was easier because you can get your king to e5 and something there. Yeah, it's difficult. Bishop f3.
Magnus will go step by step, Amruta. He will just play first. He does this. This is what Magnus is born to do, you know. Coordinate his pieces well.
ये forced हो गया क्या d6 का pawn?
And now this is already a very cool move here. f5. Because if you take, pawn takes, then h5 hangs. By the way,
Oh, by the way, it's the opposite colored pawn.
check first. King g7. Take. And this would be winning position for white, because then
if I play gf5 here,
bishop h5 with this passer, I think white would win. So will Carlsen play f5 is the question. Meanwhile, Anish Giri has simply won his game against by the way, look at this. He goes queen g5 with the idea of taking and picking the queen. So he played knight d5 to block that. Bishop c4, knight e7, and he fell for that trick.
What about Praggnanandhaa's update, Sagar? Is it equal?
Yeah, Pragg is slightly worse. Because after the trade, the knight endgame is not so clear. I think Eric is slightly better. Going back, Carlsen trying to put his head down to figure out what is the right way to win this. It's not simple, Amruta.
Still?
Yeah, he's just thinking
You
and
said
thinking.
f5 actually, and f5 was a little bit simple, but
yeah, but let's look at this. If f5, if not f5, then what? Because Amruta, you can go, you always need a weakness to attack. So one way is that you find the weakness on f7 and then reroute all your pieces to attack it. But to get your bishop here and attack is not easy, because then black starts attacking here and these pawns become weak. So it's not so trivial.
still, let's say I will like to go e5. Or are you saying कि एक बार e5 आ जाएगा, फिर f5 तो out of question है?
With e5 in the
Yes.
picture,
Can
like
you
here,
make that
I will
noise?
put my king here, and now
rook
you.
b7,
This is the only way for
Yes.
you to win. Attack on f7. So you go rook b7. I will block you like rook a3, and it's not so easy. You go king f2, king f2. I'll give you a check. I'll not easily let you come with this plan.
Got it.
So that's the reason why f5 is a very direct way to change the flow of the game. Very, very nice way. But it requires like a feeling that, see, if you have this feeling that this position is anyway won, then you will never play f5. You will play something less committal. But sometimes not committing is a problem. You have to commit at the right time.
Okay, Magnus is using quite a lot of time actually. He has to find a plan.
Yeah, he's down to 50 seconds.
Maybe right now go rook
Just
b7.
like Vidit. Both down a minute on the clock. Has Magnus kind of frozen, Amruta? Because how can a world champion, like how can a human being be like this? Is his internet under problem? That
Or
also
is
could
it
be.
is our internet on? Yeah, is
No,
this
but
board
everything
frozen?
is working.
No. Other people are moving.
Oh, if Vidit wins on
Magnus
time,
is internet if it is gone?
yeah.
Baap re. He's played e5. Magnus will play f5 for sure. His internet.
5, 4, 3.
No, I don't think.
2,
I think he's
1.
played. I mean, that's what they played so many moves. Maybe we need to refresh the game. His internet बोल रहा है नहीं. Game has gone ahead. Yeah, the game has gone ahead.
Yeah, many moves have been played. बाप रे.
तो अपन तो कैसे अपडेट होगा सागर? Refresh. Guys, for a moment, please, we are getting back the game. थोड़ा पहले बता सकते थे ना गाइस कि गेम आगे गए. चलो कोई बात नहीं, अभी तो बताया है ये. VD. All pawns gone for VD now.
Yeah, how did Magnus do it? Did he play f5 in that position or?
Maybe you can flip the board. Yeah. Let's see.
No, he played e5. Oh, and then he played f5.
मतलब f5 तो आना ही था at some point. Okay. e5 मारते थे तो rook b7 and e6 क्या?
Yeah.
For e5 there was rook b7.
And also
Bishop
next move I'll
d5.
take this and bishop d5 check and this will hang. So gf was played, takes f6 here, king h6, take 4. Maybe king g7 was the better move, but he played e4.
Same ही हो रहा है ना? rook e6.
One by one, Magnus took everything and now he's just winning totally.
He won. He won.
He won the game.
Magnus already won. Yeah.
Yeah, Magnus has won. Vidit loses to the world champion. He's still a win against Magnus remains elusive for the India number 2. Meanwhile, this round has proved to be quite a bad one for everyone, but not for Pragg. Pragg is...
Oh, winning? Yeah, he was...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Pragg is winning. And look at Erik Hansen there. He's very upset.
What did he do wrong in last year? It was a
drawn.
But
King f7, king here, king takes, knight e5 was a mistake. He should have taken on c5 first.
And then if king moves to f6, he would
King
have gone
d6.
king d6, and for g7,
Knight e7.
he would have gone knight e7. Okay.
But the way he played
what happened
Amruta,
with knight e5?
knight e5,
c6 आएगा
the
ना
problem
पहले.
is that he has missed c6 here. And Pragg has played the move c6. And after c6, knight takes c6, king f6. Very good move. Shouldering the knight 2 squares away from the knight so that the knight cannot come close. g7 is an unstoppable idea now. He resigned. So Pragg, who was, Amruta, everything was equal here. Till this point, it seemed like the game will end in a draw. In fact, if someone was better, it was Erik. But Pragg did not give up. He kept fighting. And in fact, Pragg is lost.
He was clearly losing. 95 हो गया गलत. But the knight endgames are
very important win for Pragg, actually.
King
f7 here. And king takes c5, but not knight e5.
c6 was a nice move. Perfect. Timing देखो ना, miss नहीं किया Pragg.
Yeah, Pragg won.
And अगर एक ही सेकंड 95 को डायरेक्ट king f6 खेलते थे तुम, suppose instead of c6, so knight g6 would be the problem, right?
Yeah.
Draw होता था. Got it.
Because now c6 knight f4 with the idea of knight d5. And but actually the move was c6 takes king f6 and wins.
Cool. So we have another super chat by Ramit Malhotra. He says, agreed, Sagar. Senior players really need to commit to challenging for qualification at least. Vishy can't be the flag bearer for us forever. Just frustrating to see VD, AD, Surya, Sasi, Hari not challenge.
Yeah, I think Surya, Shashi Kiran, they are one generation ahead. Hari, maybe he's 86 born, Vidit is 94 born. So there's a huge gap there, 8 years of difference. Adiban is 92. So you can put like Vidit, Adiban, Sethuraman, all of them together. And then you have another generation, I would say, SL Narayanan, Arvind, Kartikeyan, Vaibhav Suri, and then you have the youngsters. In fact, in that we always say 5 names like Nihal, Pragg, Arjun, Gukesh, Raunak, but there's also Aryan Chopra, who's very young and talented, who's around 19 or so, 19 or 20, very strong player. And there's Leon, of course.
We have another super chat by Rishi Sarada. He says, Sagar bhai, what is the issue you find in VD's game? How can he take the next step in his career for winning such tournaments?
Yeah, I think that it's very important that Vidit himself looks into this and figures a way out of it, because clearly something or the other is missing where he has to figure out. Like for example, let's say in this game itself, there were some key moments where, like this one.
Yeah, he had a nice position here. In fact, after c4, he went. He played knight
Yeah.
b2, right?
Like knight b2 changed
This
it
was
in
one of the first critical position.
yeah, if it taken here, I don't know if once he sees it that b5 is possible, it's just done, and he sees such moves pretty quickly. But maybe sometimes in the game he misses it. Like you see him in commentary and all, he without engine finds such great moves so quickly. So sometimes, yeah, but
Here also, actually, he did play really well, but f6 was a very tough move to consider in the whole calculation on the game.
So,
So
I think
it was a world
Carlsen-
champion like move.
Carlsen
And
played
then
really well.
after
But
that,
also, I think Vidit has to definitely uh, look at some of the things that he's doing right, some of the things he's doing wrong. But he is already doing a few things. Like he needs a couple of wins today in the last 2 rounds. By the way, we can look at the standings.
Can you mute up?
Pragg actually winning is a big result for Pragg, because now he'll be back at the top.
Yeah, let's look at the standings. Oh, Magnus has come on the first spot.
Yeah, Magnus is at the top because Wei Yi drew his game against Sam. Anish Giri beat Abhimanyu, so he's on number 2. Wei Yi number 3, Ding Legend number 4, Anton Guyaro number 5. Amruta. And we have Praggnanandhaa number 6. So Pragg is right now one of the Indian players at the top. And then we have Mamedyarov and Hari still in number 8. So we still have 2 rounds today and 3 tomorrow, 5 more before the qualification. Very important here for Hari and Vidit to play well in the last 2 games of today. So who are the opponents they are going to face? Just so that you know, Pragg will be up against Shakhriyar and Jordan. Quite tough opponents. Harikrishna will face Erik Hansen and Mamedyarov. And Vidit will face Vidit will play Wei Yi and Anish. Oh, today's last round of the day is with Anish Giri. Wow. Tough day for Vidit because Wei Yi is one of the leaders, and now with play with Anish as well. He's also one of the leaders. By the way, Shakhriyar Mamediyarov beat Niels Grandelius. Amazing play. So these are the standings right now. Let's go back to the main screen and wait for the round to begin. Next round will start in exactly 2 minutes from now. We will have an important game between Magnus and David Anton, Gawain and Ding Lijen, Harikrishna and Eric Hansen, Praggnanandhaa and Mamediyarov, Nils versus Jordan, Tari versus Abhimanyu. So Pragg Mamediyarov, interesting game. And we also have Wei Yi Vidit, Hari Hansen, and Anish versus Sam Shankland. Okay guys, the next round will begin in a bit. Let's look at the game of... Whose game should we look at? Let's look at Vidit versus Wei Yi. It's an interesting encounter.
Rahul Mukherjee asks Sagar bhai, for Vichy, will the consolidated results decide the winner?
Yes.
By the way, Rakshit Singh says today's last round is VD versus Anish.
Yeah.
Rakshit
By the
asks
way.
in future, will CBI start publishing magazines?
Knight d4, knight f6, knight c3, a6.
Sicilian.
And now queen
क्या बात?
d3 has been
Oh,
played.
knight of queen d3, yeah?
Knight
Who will be
bd7.
better prepared? Knight bd7.
With the idea of maybe knight c5. Could be an idea. Yeah, Amruta, I'll be back in a bit.
Yes. Take this. Whether this thinking. Abhi, but right now he's thinking. So he may be thinking of the lines like a4, maybe simple development with bishop e2.
4 minutes.
Yeah, he played bishop e2. I think. Actually, Sicilian somehow is not occurring, open Sicilian especially, is not occurring very commonly. MVL रहता था तब night off होता था. We used to see that quite often, but it's not always that we are able to see this. So it's going to be a lot of fun. What about the other openings which have happened on the board? We will also see at there is Mamediyarov versus Praggnanandhaa, guys. This Mamediyarov versus Praggnanandhaa. Let me bring them on the screen. Yes, there it is, Praggnanandhaa and Hari as well. We have Hari is playing against Eric Hansen. Let's have Magnus as well. Okay, look at Magnus, how he's sitting and simply relaxing like he's watching a movie. Amazing. and he can still stay so focused. Well, so let's have a lot of moves have been played here in Praggnanandhaa versus Mamedarev game. Very quickly, let's go through the opening. It was Tarash opening. Oh, takes knight d5, e4, cd, bishop d2, queen d2, castle, bishop c4. Gives a lot of Grunfeld-like feel. White, b6, rook e1, bishop b7, rook d1. The white's development looks so beautiful, central files, but black has the queen side majority here. Rook c8, bishop b3, rook e8, and d5 was played by Mamedarev. Yeah, d5, that pawn is going to be a little bit of an irritant. E takes d5 and knight d4. Oh, wow, he's vacated the square. This is so interesting. Knight d4. And the whole thing is, if you take here on e4 right now, then guys, what should white play? If black takes d4, what should white play? Sachin says, asks, is black always trying to play for a win when he plays Sicilian? Or e5 always if he wants a draw? Yes, if he wants to play solid, then he goes for e5 usually, and Sicilian is more for dynamic, must win, and um, those kind of games. But there are many players like who just love Sicilian, and then they don't like to play e5. Well, Vihan, Kunal, Gupta, Arav, Aurora, you guys are right. The move is knight b5, and you see there is already the threat of fork. At the same time, d7 is hanging, so this is a very, very good position for white. If you go knight c5, there is knight d6. So that is the idea behind knight d4, which Mamedarev has played. And Praggnanandhaa is thinking right now, look at Mamedarev's time. He is very, very well prepared with 17 minutes 23 seconds on the clock, which is huge. Wow. So it's not going to be easy for Praggnanandhaa because he's not just thinking on a critical position, but he also has to find a way to deviate Mamedarev's preparation. So Praggnanandhaa might be out prepared. Yeah, we don't know. We will keep a watch here. What else is going on? Let's have a look at Hari's game and look at Mamedarev how he's thinking. He's looking up at the ceiling. Yeah, let's have a look at Eric Hansen versus Hari. E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6. We have Rai Lopez on the board. Takes, h3, but not the usual one. This is the bishop c6, bc6 wala, that new line, not new, but quite popular now. Knight d7, knight d2. Lot of maneuvers happening, and Harikrishna has played here a very important for bishop d2, f5, a nice move. I should have asked this move actually, what should black play, and he's already better in this position after f5. Just going back two moves, here bishop b7, knight c4 was played, rook b8, and then white, it was important for white to go knight e3 and stop the f5 ideas. It was very important. But he did not do that. Instead, he played bishop d2, and now black played f5. b4 is played by Eric. So fe, queen e8, and I think there's some pressure going to be there on the king's side. F2 is weak, the rook is not on f1. At some point it will either have to go to e2 or f1 again. The queen can give ideas. You can see this is kind of an undefended piece here, so for tactics Eric needs to be alert. And again, this knight will jump to f6. E4 is weak. in general, this is a super pleasant position for Harikrishna, which is a very good thing. Going back to Praggnanandhaa's game, what did he play? We have to check, because after knight d4, oh, he took a long time. You can see already 7-minute difference. He has gone rook c5 here. Rook c5 has been played, and it's really a good move. It's really a good move. Things are in control. Let's have a look at Vidit's game. Mamadaro goes f3, and now maybe d4 is possible, only because after knight b5 the knight d6 fork doesn't exist anymore. So that's possible, but there is a difference, guys. Now you cannot move the knight. There's a pin here, so maybe you will have to defend it with something like bishop c6 would be possible, and then you give, like, the pawn is recaptured by white. It will go a little bit, I think, into complications. Takes, knight takes c6, rook takes c6. Oh, and it can lead to some crazy simplifications, I would say. Queen d7, queen d7. But let's not go into these kind of variations, because I'm sure Mamadara will try to avoid. And let's wait here at this position. Rook c5, f3 has been played. I'm very keen on going back to Vidit's game once, because it was Vidit versus Wei Yi. What happened in that Sicilian? Aage. Bishop e2, b5. Wei Yi continued with knight d5. Vidit did not immediately castle. He went knight d5. But yeah, okay. Bishop b7. And now a4. Nice move. Nice move. There's already a question. What do you do with black? So he ignored that. He first attacked the queen here. Knight takes f6. G takes f6. And queen e3 with it played. B takes a4. So this is protected. You can never kick this knight off, which is defending the a4 pawn, because of this. So it's a very nice coordination right now among these two. But the point is, look at this king here on e8. It is very safe in the shelter for sure. But how is the development going to happen for black? One more thing is, e4 is not protected. So after ba4, there is a direct threat of capturing the e4 pawn, maybe with the knight or bishop. So Vidit plays f3 here, or just defends solidly. h5, queen f2. Now he wants to also develop this bishop maybe later. Queen f2. There was another idea after h5. Bishop h6 will be the idea, wanting to exchange. So he went queen f2, and Wei Yi is thinking in this position. Anyway, Wei Yi can continue with bishop h6, trying to exchange the pieces, but no, he plays e6, and maybe he wants to develop bishop e7. That will be possible. But again, the question does come up. The king cannot long castle easily, because you see already it is all exposed here. The king cannot short castle, because this is also exposed. The king has to be in the center. Is the king going to stay on e7? Maybe, possible. But what can Vidit do? Vidit has to try to start pushing his pawns in some way, trying to open the files. So he's going to plan that. Queen b6 has been played. By the way, look at the time. Yes, the chat has been telling me that Vidit has 15 minutes and Wei Yi has 8 minutes. That is 7 minutes more. Amazing time advantage, because the position is so already dynamic, and it is only going to get more complicated with the next 5 moves. That means the time pressure factor is going to be huge. This is great. This is great. Rakshit says 95 seems like something VD might have prepared. Look at his time and Wei Yi's time. I agree with you completely. Nice. Yeah, 95. That's a good one. Queen d3 के बाद. ठीक है. So this game is very, very interesting right now. White Vidit has a very interesting move, a very good move, but I wouldn't say it's an easy move, though it is a natural idea. Any guesses, guys? What should White play? Rakshit, in the meantime, has asked for bishop e3, queen takes b2. What's happening? Oh, bishop e3, queen takes b2, guys. What's happening? This is again a question. You cannot take queen b2 because of course there is rook b1. Maybe this rook to b1, and then wherever you move your queen. This is defended. Let's not forget this is defended. So this could be possible, but bishop d2 and the queen will get trapped. Very nicely, guys. How do you trap the queen is also another question. Okay, in that position where we were checking out bishop e3, people have suggested rook f b1, king h1. Okay, rook f b1 and king h1. But over here, yeah, Aurora, very right, very quick. That was Kunal Gupta, bishop b4, and the queen gets trapped. So it's not going, I mean, taking queen b2 is going to be a super huge risk. So bishop e3 in that respect would be possible, definitely possible. Only thing is bishop h6 I think would be good, and then you will have to exchange here and continue, yeah, with rook f b1 and ideas like this, which is good for white. The other way to continue would be also to think of b3. b3 is a very interesting move. Let's say black goes ab3 and then knight b3. The point is there is a pin, so you cannot take. You cannot take here, and your idea is bishop e3, and you are putting even more pressure here. Also, you have opened up some files here. So this could be a possibility. We're going to check what Vidit is going to play. He did play b3. This has happened on the board. Wow. He's played b3. That's a good move. Knight b3. But the time difference is now 4 minutes. Yeah, Rakshit, VD played b3. Wow. Exactly. That's what. Is there a lag, guys? Or is everything okay? Yeah, everything is okay. I think there was a lag, but we are back. Again, I'm going to check Praggnanandhaa's game because that too was going on very interesting. We checked out f3, and in this position Praggnanandhaa played g6. G6, I don't know why. We were considering d4, but g6 is fine. Knight c2 was played by Mamedaro. Oops, very sorry. Knight c2, and he played knight f6. Okay, so all the ideas with that knight on d7 after taking the pawn on e4, he tried to get rid of it and he played knight f6. Mamedaro went e5 and Praggnanandhaa went back to d7. Could he have gone knight h5? I mean, yes. So, of course, the knight cannot get trapped, and in the future you have knight g7, knight f5. But also he's eyeing on the f4 square. So, knight on h4 looks pretty good. Knight on h5 looks pretty good. I'm wondering why he would not go for knight h5. Would he be worried about f4 and f5 ideas in the future? That's possible. But again, there is even queen h4. So it's a little bit of a surprise that he went back knight d7. He's attacked this, but he's forced him to play f4 in some way. But this position is good for white. Already huge pressure on d5 as the isolated pawn. Also, the knight is going to jump to e3 or d4, and in the future f5 is happening. I don't like this knight here. This knight doesn't look good here. Queen h4. And look at the time. Oh my god, I cannot believe Mamedaro is still having more than 15 minutes and Praggnanandhaa is having only 4 minutes, 11-minute difference. This is going to be absolutely difficult for Praggnanandhaa. VD seems to be winning. Can we stick with his game? That's what Rakshit asks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rakshit. Yeah. Knight b3. We left here. Bishop h6 was played. The move which we were kind of expecting. Bishop takes h6. Rook takes h6. Rook fb1, and now you see white is happy that there is no pawn on b2, and that's why b3 was a nice idea by Vidit. Queen c7 is played. Knight takes c5, d takes c5, and queen g3 here. Oh, he offered a queen exchange. If you count a material, white is a pawn down. White is a pawn down, but with just too much of active pieces here, with the rooks putting a lot of pressure, a little bit Benko like rooks, I would say. And oops, sorry. He played here queen g3. He's offered a queen trade. The idea is if queen takes g3, now h takes g3, and this bishop is hanging. So you, let's say, try to go bishop c6. Then you can go for maybe rook b6 is possible, but there is also rook a5. You could also take the pawn, but you can win maybe the c5 pawn. Quite a lot of weaknesses. So c5 is weak, a6 is weak, and I think black will lose both these pawns. Eventually, white is going to be this one pawn up. From the current position of being one pawn down, white will land up in this c2 pawn up. So that's what I think. Queen g3, Wei Yi is still thinking. I'm going to, because Wei is thinking, and this is a very interesting game as well with Mamedaro and Praggnanandhaa. I'm going to quickly have an update here. Queen h4, knight d4, queen g4. Such a huge advantage for Mamedaro here. Oh my god. By the way, Hari also had a clearly better position as we had seen. Is he able to retain his advantage? Yes, he still has some advantage, and he's got his queen to g6 now. The bishop on a8 is very nicely putting pressure here, so that does stay. The knight, oops, the knight is on h5, would jump to f4 at the right moment. Overall, a great position for Hari. What about Anish? How is his position? Okay, Sam Shankland versus Anish. It's going on right now, pretty equalish. So now we are going to stick with Vidit versus Wei. 11 minutes for Vidit. Again, he's having more time advantage. And at g3, this has happened. The queen trade has happened. Let's see how Wei defends. Okay. Yeah, he's played bishop c6 and rook a5. Actually, has happened in the game, I believe. Or not yet. I'm not able to guess if if it is being updated. Just a moment, guys. Let me check some other game. Also, we have not looked at all at Magnus's game. Just to have a look at his game. This is his position right now. In fact, they had Sicilian on the board as well. Magnus played Sicilian. Wow. So this is an equal position. You can see black has an isolated pawn here on c5. Magnus has offered the trade, but white should not exchange that knight b6. It would be a very bad move. Of course, David doesn't. And the f5 looks very, very good. c4. Yeah, this is going to go, I think, going to go like towards equalization. Let's see how David is able to play further. Going back to Praggnanandhaa's game, is there any chance of him saving his game? कुछ भी हो सकता है क्या? Bishop a4. Oh, that's a nice pin down here on a4 e8 diagonal. So rook e7 split. And now Mamadharov, right now it's a good timing to play one move. Guys, what is the idea which white should continue with? How should white continue? CSK will return. That was very fast. Siddhant Sharad. Shaibi Binod. Chandresh Reddy. Yes, guys, you guys are right. F5 would be very strong here. Because if knight takes e5, then there is f6. And if you go rook e6 here, the whole point is you can, of course, go queen h6. And for rook f6, this is hanging. You could also play it by this mode, rook takes e5, and rook takes e5 would obviously be lost after queen h6. So f5, f6 is coming very strong here, and you can see with the queen, this queen when it was on h4, it was at least protecting the h6, but queen when it came to g4, that square was no more in control. So well, f5 is a possibility. The other good move is also bishop d7. I mean, there are many good moves, but takes f5 would also do with the same ideas. I think Mamadharov will play this. Let me just check what he's what he played is h3. h3 is also fine right now. Praggnanandhaa now can go back to h4, and then maybe bishop takes d7. Okay, queen g3 is played. Now just take, and f5 and e6. Oh, this is so crushing. So crushing. Absolutely crushing. And only 2 minutes in hand. Somehow, I think the preparation of Mamadharov, as we saw with 17 minutes on his clock, was massive to deal with. Okay. Let me have a look at what's up with the other games. Yeah. In Vidit's game, a few moves have happened. Rook a5 खेला था यहाँ पे. He went bishop c8. We were checking bishop c6, but he went bishop c8. Now that defended the e6 pawn. So rook a5, h4, gh4, rook h4, and rook c5. So firstly, Vidit has recovered a pawn. So materially it's equal, and with the equal material, look at the coordination. The rooks are just not connected. The bishop is very passive, and the pawn structure for black is not so good. Whereas white's pieces are super nicely placed, and now a5 has been played. Now why not to take the 7th rank, which is one possibility. Rook c7 with the ideas of bishop b5. Well, the question would be for rook c7. Let's say if black goes a4, says कि कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए, बस मेरा pawn आगे बढ़ते जाएगा. Is it really a risk here? Bishop b5 check, king f8, and then there is bishop c6. A big question to the rook on a8. Really has only one move, but rook c8 and white wins the piece. So that is the threat after rook c7. I think Vidit will play rook c7. It's a direct threat of winning the bishop. And that's why you cannot push the pawn. You may have to move the king. Anyway, I'll go bishop b5 with the idea of bishop c6. And yeah, how do you defend here? How do you defend? Can you defend the threat? Wow, is the bishop on c8 getting trapped almost? Well, no, maybe there is a very interesting idea. Rook h5. So guys, how does this move defend? That's the question to you. If bishop c6, What should black play? What is the defense? What is the defense? And as Rakshit has observed, the time difference stays. Vidit has 8 minutes, Wei Yi has 2 minutes. Wow, super alert everyone. Shritu, Vaibhav, Advai, Rohit, Manan, Abhinav, Amritanshu, Maxstaff. Well done, guys. The defense is to pin this bishop by rook c5. Bishop 8 would land up to rook c7. And this is a good position for black. Suddenly, with that one rook absent, it's a good position. The bishop is not having any square right now. That is one of the things. Very beautiful defense. Rook h5. You see, rook h5. What a classy move. But in any case, of course, if we go bishop c6, but the point is you don't need to go bishop c6. You can go g4. Again, put a question mark. Let the rook go to g5. And then what do? Wait. You can just wait. You can block the pawn on a a5 and slowly improvise your position with bringing the king in, going rook b6, and at some point this threat will renew itself. So that's the thing for Vidit right now. This has happened. Vidit did play rook c7 and Wei Yi has gone rook h7. Now definitely bishop b5 check incoming, guys. Bishop b5 check. But the only thing is for bishop e5, black will have to go king f8 is a blunder, as we know. Bishop c6 will come. So king d8 is possible. I mean, the only move. And then you can go back rook c5 and continue playing this position with an advantage. Okay, let me also have a look at Mamedarov. Did he play? Oh, yeah, he did play that. After h3, where we had left, queen went to g3 and he took the knight, bishop d7, rook d7, and did not leave a chance to play f5. Wow. Wow. This bishop versus this knight. Just have a look at it. Black would be so happy without this pawn. Kabhi kabhi, you don't want that material. Material is just a stress. So f5, the threat is e6 right now. You cannot stop it. And you cannot consider a move like gf5. It's just totally gone. 1 minute also on the clock. So there's no real chance. Okay. So this is Praggnanandhaa's game right now. We can look at the few moves. How Mamedarov is going to finish the thing. That's an interesting question. Okay, right now it's very clear after rook e7, f6 definitely, with the idea of jumping in with queen h6. So f6, I think Mamedarov will play. Also, we are going to check the other games if Hari has retained the advantage. Let me have a very quick look in Hari. Oh, Hari is winning. Wow. Amazing. We left at queen g6, knight g4, bishop g5. We had seen this bishop d2, knight d2, and knight f4. As predicted, the knight had jumped to f4, queen f3, h5, knight h2, rook f7. Hari is not taking this free pawn which he is getting because he is so tempted to continue with his attack and also defend the c7 pawn. a3, rook f8, knight f1, d5. Oh, there is the break. Now with the bishop unleashing the potential on g2, looks super solid. Rook d1, and okay, Hari is already winning material with d4. So this is a crucial win for Hari, I think, if he is able to convert it. It's a good news. So Hari is winning on this board. Praggnanandhaa is losing on this board. Mamedarov did not play f6. He played rook e3. I mean, queen g5. Now maybe he'll go e6. Well, f6 was much easier, but ठीक है. Hari game, Hari game. Ah, okay. A lot of people also want to see Hari game. We are going to shift to Hari's game right now. Maybe guys, you can tell me. Hari, Vidit and Praggnanandhaa, we have 3 games to see. Abhi ke liye, which game should I shift? As we had discussed, Bishop e5 has happened in the game. King d8 and Vidit has played Rook c5. VD, Hari, VD, Hari. Vidit because he's just better. Yeah, in terms of the excitement for the result, as Sagar says, Praggnanandhaa is losing, so it's clear there. Hari is winning, that is also clear. Vidit is better, not yet winning. It's too much to say right now winning, but is clearly better. So what we'll do is we'll keep shifting a little bit बीच में, and डेफिनेटली मैग्नस और अनीश का भी देखेंगे क्या है सिचुएशन. रुक a7. Black is trying to free himself a little bit. Maybe a good idea would be to give a check here, because after giving a check you cannot move your king. That would be a blunder. Bishop d7 would be the only move, and the question is, would you like to go into this rook endgame? Takes and rook takes a5. That's the question. This rook endgame should be winning, but I don't know how easily it can be a win, because there will be some chances for black to defend. What could really help is the double pawn. So this is the end game. Will Vidit go into this or not? I think he may avoid. We will have a look at it. And one more time, let me go to Hari's game, because it's absolutely ending. I think it's absolutely ending. So we can have a look at it. After d4, queen g3, queen h6, knight e3, and knight d3 go h4. Baapre. Lot of options you can play. Rook f2, you can play knight e1. कुछ भी खेल सकते हो इधर. Just too tempting. Rakshay says because of the c pawn, slightly easy for white. Guys, do you like rook end games? What is your opinion about rook end games? Have you ever tried to study rook end games? Okay. He's still thinking. Well, actually in Vidit's game that has happened. He has gone into this rook end game. King d6, rook a7, king e5. I think we will be checking this because the other games are almost over. We'll look at the end later. But here, how is Vidit going to win is a nice thing to see. Because another thing is, if this king is able to put pressure on the c pawn with the rook and become more active, but that doesn't seem likely, then it should be okay. But look at this rook on h7. What I like is Vidit has put his rook on a7 and tied down the rook on h7. So ये rook h7 पे इतना खराब है ना, so that really gives a good advantage. King f2. What will Vidit do? Maybe Wei will try to put pressure here on g2 and trying to stop king e3. That's a possibility. Rook g7. No. So he goes f5. f5 ko the question is, do you want to take? Or first you want to give a check and then take, so that there is no king takes f5. Sounds like it, yeah? Sounds like it. Oof. Again, I am going to shift to Mamedarov's game, because he has got his pawn on f6 and black queen has to stay on f8 to stop queen h6, queen g7 mating ideas. Rook on e7 right now. The b7 is attacked. and the idea is queen e5 and rook e8. It's a very strong threat. Maybe black will put his bishop on c6, but anyway, queen e5 with the idea of knight c6. If you try to move the bishop here, finally there is a very nice move here for white. Guys, can you find a very nice move for white? Just a very nice move for white. It's a typical idea. Street Chronicles, Vaibhav, Shreya, Sports with Tanish, Samir Inamdar, Siddhant Sharat. Yes, you guys are right. Knight e6, very beautiful move. And if fe6, you have rook g7 check. If king h8, now there is f7. Again, your idea is rook g8 is a double checkmate. So queen takes g7 and then there is anyway checkmate here. So a very nice idea with knight e6. Well. What happened in the game actually? Oh, it has happened in the game. No. So what he played was rook e7, bishop c6, and queen e3 instead of queen e5. It's almost same. Bishop a4. And now he can, okay, now if the queen was an e5, then knight e6 was better because you see the f7 ideas. I don't know why he played queen e3. Queen e5 was definitely way stronger. So it's going to a nice finish here. But let's look at Vidit's game because, oh my god, it seems Wei Yi has equalized. Few moves have happened here. Takes let's quickly get here. f5 takes Mara, e5, king e3 was played, which was not the best idea. The Vidit should have started with c4 already, but kya ho kya gaya? King e3, rook h2 was a good move here. If king f5, then it is all good with g4 check and then king e4. But rook h2 and now g2 is attacked. If you play g4, you lose this, and then on pawns on one side is a draw. You can't do that. Oh, if you don't play g4 and if you go king f2 again, then there is king f5 and now you don't have g4. So, is it like this one tempo which black gets right now is so critical that now the rook can actually defend, stop this pawn on c4. My god, rook h2 was a very important defense. Now that we look back at this, oh no, this was very subtle, and that's the reason white should have started with c4, king f5, just to again show you why this is better. King e3, rook h2, g4, king e6, rook a6 check. You can see the king doesn't have a good square here. It has to go back, and white's king is jumping in here. Even if you go rook e2, king f5, and the pawn stays. Yeah, if you go rook c2 or something, then you can give a check here. The main idea is if king d6, you can take f7, you can give this, and this pawn rolls out. Wow. But in the actual game, what happened was rook h2. He's played rook h2, king f2, king f5. And here, even if you start with c4, the whole point is I'll attack your pawn again with rook h4. How do you defend it? Oh, that has happened. He played c4, rook h4 has happened in the game. Anyway, let's look at the game. If you play rook c5 and rook a4, but rook a4 is a pin and you cannot push this pawn easily, so you don't want to go rook a4. But then what else? If you go c5, there is rook c4, rook behind a pawn. Guys, you know this very well. Rook behind a pawn. Oh god. No, this is not at all easy. Not at all easy. By the way, we have the result incoming. Harikrishna has won the game with Erik Hansen. That's a very, very good news. I'm sure he would be in top 8 right now. I mean, he would have climbed his standings. We will have a look at it later. Rook h4, he's thinking. Oops. No, yeah, sorry. He didn't play Rook h4. He played Rook a1 here. King e6, Rook a6 check, King f5. And here we are. Oops, let me just, by the way. By the way, Praggnanandhaa is still playing, right? Why can't I see Mohamed Arrow? Yeah, there we are. So Rook h1, King e3. Okay, this is a draw for sure, but it's not like it's like a dead draw because black can go wrong and there could be some chances. But considering the way Wei Yi found Rook h2 at the right time, now he won't leave his opportunity. Yeah, this one he'll defend well. He's got the rook behind the passed pawn. That makes the tasks really easy. King d3. You want to give a check, maybe that's possible. 10, they're playing now with 5 to 10 seconds in hand. King g5, not the best move as we saw. Rook a2, a good move. Rook a2 is a very good move. You see, the idea is rook c2. Vidit is now trying to bring his rook behind a pawn. If king pawn endgame, always white is a pawn up, that favors white. So that's why rook a2 very nicely spotted. King f5. Abhi kuch bhi nahi ho sakta. Rook c2 and Vidit is back in the game. He is winning, guys. He is winning. Rook d1 check, king e3. That's a great news. That's a great news for all of us. King e3. How do you stop this pawn? c5, खेलो, push करो, खुश रहो, push करो. Yes, that's happening. Happening. You can't stop the pawn. King d7, c6. The main advantage is this is an extra pawn, and that's why even when black attacks, wants to capture, by the time white king is going to come in, and that king pawn endgame is going to be winning. This is the biggest advantage. Vidit is winning again. By the way, we have another result. Praggnanandhaa has lost the game with Mohamed Arrow, but yes, that was a difficult one. And now over here, Vidit is winning. Amazing, amazing. Not easy for both the sides. g4. ये तो बाएं हाथ का खेल है, नहीं दाएं हाथ का खेल है ना, कौन से हाथ का खेल है, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर. एनीवे, डजंट मैटर. रुक c8, c6. You will maximum keep your rook on c7. ठीक है, there is a clear cut plan. You can go king e4. You can go rook c5. Okay, but he's got king d4, king d5, stopped king e4 as well. कोई बात नहीं. g7, c7. Now if you attack, I'll play king e4. If you take here, after exchanges, I'll take here. So he's played f6, stopped g5. Just wait. King d3, or yeah, this is also move. Zugzwang hai. You cannot move the rook because of... Oh, and he resigns. Wei Yi has resigned the game. Vidit has won this game. Wow, that was a very, very, very close to a draw. But that too for just 2 moves. Yeah, at this point, if we see here, everything was going perfectly for Vidit. ef5 खेला गया था. e5. He's still very good. King e3, and not very easy to suddenly think, अरे रुक h2 आ रहा है. You know, it's like, यार कैसे मिस किया. That वाला move, वो वाला move है. c4 यहाँ पे खेलना was so necessary. Again, now that you king f5 आता है, it's the similar what to say, position we'll enter into what actually happened in the game. and that's why g4 आएगा, king e6, the rook will go behind a pawn, behind this pawn, and this will be winning. But one more time, how black could have defended after rook h2 was king f2 takes rook a1. This was all okay in what happened in the game. King e3, rook c1, king d3, and maybe f6, f6. But the question is, I would still ask, it's still not easy, because rook a2, if I play with the idea of rook c2, let's say the same idea, what happens? What's wrong here? King e6. Now if I go rook c2, there is rook d1 check. If I go king e4, let's say if I go king e4, then I have f5 check. King e3, I have f4 check. King e4. Okay, let's see if people are alert. Are you guys awake? What's the move? Very quickly, within 2 seconds. Let me know. Haha, the world of it, chess code, CSK will return. There is a mate here, absolutely. So f4, and the king is pushed further back to e2, and then the rook comes to d4. c5 khela, the rook goes back to d7, c6, rook c7, and the difference here is, now when I will capture this pawn, the king is a little bit too far. So let's say if I go king d3, not king d6 here, king d5 is important, stopping king e4, and whatever I do, now I can simply take the pawn, and this king pawn endgame is a draw. So this was the main idea, how black could have defended. But even if I don't allow f5 or something, and let's say even if I go a move like king d3, anyway I don't need a check. My idea is the same. Black is going to go f5, f4, push the king back, and then after that you don't really have a plan. Was a nice defense for sure. So मजा ही आ गया. Okay, 1 second guys, let me just remove the cameras. Yep. So ऐसा हुआ draw. So how did you find this round, guys? How was the round for you? Praggnanandhaa's game, Vidit's game, Hari's game. Oh, we have to look at the standings. Standings देखेंगे. Yes, there we are. Okay, Magnus Carlsen is still leading on top with 22 points. Ding Liren on 21. Anish on 21. So Ding Liren has climbed up gradually. Very nice. Wei Yi on 19 points after his loss with Vidit. Vidit actually beat one of the leaders in that sense. David is on 17 points. Mamederov is on 16. And look at this 7, 8, and 9. Praggnanandhaa on 16. Hari on 15. And Vidit on 14. 7th, 8th, 9th. All three have a great chance, guys. All three. Isn't that amazing for India? Sam Shankland on 12. Aryan on 12. Eric Hansen on 11. Van Forest on 10. Abhimanyu and Nils on 9 points each, and Gawain Jones on 5 points. These are the standings. Now, let us also have a look at who are going to be the next round opponents. Round 12 would be, sorry, not round 12. Yeah. राउंड 12 के लिए we'll have Magnus Carlsen versus Wei Yi. We have Very, very interesting. Anish Giri versus Vidit Gujarati. And we have Harikrishna versus Mamedero. That is also going to be interesting. Is Mamedero going to bring anything new, anything to out prepare? And Praggnanandhaa versus Van Forest. Niels versus Abhimanyu Mishra. Aryan Tari versus Sam Shankland. Gawain Jones versus Eric Hansen. David Anton versus Ding Liren. These are the pairings. Of course, we are not going to miss anything about Anish Giri versus Vidit Gujarati. And what's going on in the chat, I think. अनुभव says अनीश को हराना मुश्किल होगा. उत्कर्ष से तीनों बाहर ना हो जाए, बस तीनों ही अंदर टॉप 8 में आएंगे तो मज़ा ही आ जाएगा गाइस. I think Harikrishna right now is very much in form. He's playing well. Let's see how the next games go. In the next round, we are also going to call Sagar, of course. I think I'll call him after 3 minutes, maybe. 3 minute के बाद. Or maybe after 2 minutes. क्योंकि 2 मिनट में मैगी बनता है. Such a stupid joke. Yeah. So what is your prediction, guys? Anish versus Vidit. What's your prediction? Hari versus Mamedara. What's your prediction? And Praggnanandhaa versus Van Forest. तीनों का भी prediction. Let's have a look. What do you guys think? क्या होने वाला है? Chaitanya Natraj says my prediction: Anish winning, Hari Mamedara draw, Praggnanandhaa winning against Van Forest. Okay. Anish will win. Chris says Anish versus Vidit draw. Hari and Vidit draw. Praggnanandhaa will win. Says Vijay. Okay. Harmik says Vidit will win. Hari will draw. Praggnanandhaa will draw. ठीक है. काफी सारे आ गए हैं predictions. I'm gonna get the players. I'm gonna pin the players. I mean, I'm not going to show you immediately, but Anish versus Vidit. There we have Vidit. Just to tell you guys, right now they have used so much energy, and for the last round, Vidit is eating something. What is that? Looks like a chocolate, maybe. Maybe Vedika's chocolate he's eating. He's very much in the focused mode. Always fun to see Anish versus Vidit. Praggnanandhaa, Van Forest. Okay, perfect. Sheshnath, thank you so much. Patrick says battle of YouTubers, Vidit versus Anish. Both of them don't stream now often anyway. So guys, shall I call Sagar or maybe wait for a minute or two? ब्रेक है गाइस, इसीलिए पढ़ाई कर लो। जो पढ़ाई करते वक्त देख रहे हैं वो प्लीज 3-4 मिनट फोकस से पढ़ाई कर लो। ओह गॉड, प्लीज रिमूव द पोल। ओके, I remove the poll? That's a good. Yeah, I can end the poll. Yes, I have ended the poll. And I'm getting Sagar now. All right, guys. Okay, Sagar will be joining us in 2 minutes. Opening predictions. Sicilian, ऐसा ना crazy Sicilian होना चाहिए, मजा ही आ जाएगा. Chaitanya says my opening prediction: Nimzo Indian versus Mamadara, Vidit versus Anish, London system. Praggnanandhaa should go for Sicilian or Rai Lopez. Yeah, Sagar had a very tiring day today. He had a club, he had meetings, in fact back to back meetings. He had also Anand Vish's commentary, and then he's been doing this commentary. It's been a super tiring day, but it's okay. I think right now he'll come with super energy, and I am getting the players on the screen right now. Main video. Let me get the people here. Yes. Hello.
So it's the big one, yeah?
Yes, Vidit versus Anish.
It's two friends who are going to face off each other, but sometimes when the friends are facing off each other, they want to beat their opponents. And h4 by Magnus Carlsen against.
I was going to ask you in the last round कि यार D3 खेलता है, C3 खेलता है, ये खेलता है, वो खेलता है, H4 क्यों नहीं खेलता है? Guys.
But this is against Wei Yi. He plays D5 and now your move H5, Amruta.
Of course, H5.
Has he seen that video? No, he's not. He goes D4.
Guys, you have to first of all also see recently Sagar had put a lot of matches between Nihal and Praggnanandhaa, Adiban and Nihal, Adiban and Praggnanandhaa, where the whole few games were first move H4. So definitely, and that was a very nice roasting and fun and
yeah
thing to
by
watch.
the way, E4, E5 by this, and they're going to play the Italian, which is one of the main openings, and generally both of them are very well prepared. We'll see who's the first one to stop. I think Vidit takes a small think here. What is he going to play? Why is he thinking?
Knight G5 खेलने वाला है क्या?
Castles.
Sorry, Vidit.
Early bishop G5. Yeah, Anish is white. Vidit is black.
Sagar Chess Amarnath remembers Deshmukh versus Deshmukh. Anup Deshmukh's H4.
That was also played recently.
Divya Deshmukh.
C3. A5, H3. 6 might be played, or rook E8 might be played. H6.
Or he might play A4.
Rook E1. And now rook E8. Amruta. I want to play bishop E6, but he plays directly. Vidit goes, Anish goes bishop B5, and maybe this queen B8 line. Yeah, here is that. possible to play queen b8, queen a7 concept.
Oh, queen b8, queen 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are all prepared. हो सकता है.
Yeah, queen b8 is one of the main moves here. I think queen a7, that's how they play. And in fact, I had once like Anish on the stream, and we were discussing this. Knight to c4, attacking here, bishop c5 back, bishop a4. And can you take and spoil the structure? But then
d5 is never possible.
yeah, also white gets the bishop pair. So and
Other openings
look
also,
at this,
let's have a
Amruta.
look, Sagar.
H4, d5, d4, c4 is played like.
Baapre, this is like he's gone like a normal black se khel raha hai, basically.
I think for Magnus is trying to keep himself awake, by playing some different things, just trying to challenge himself. Let's look at also the game between Pragg and Jordan. They haven't started yet. I think Jordan has just joined in. And what about Harikrishna? Harikrishna versus Mamedyarov.
Harikrishna versus Mamedyarov. Harikrishna won last round, Sagar.
Against Ding Lishan?
Eric Risen. No. What? Eric Hansen.
Vidit also won against Wei
Vidit
Yi.
won. It was a very nice game.
Okay.
In fact, Vidit were prepared really well. And Mamedyarov actually crushed Praggnanandhaa. Like, just out-prepared him. The way he did it was something to see.
Nice. So the last round was filled with a lot of
Yes, last round was
interesting
very,
results.
very busy. ये देखे या वो देखे या ये देखे या वो देखे, it was like completely crazy.
Okay, and Harikrishna, that means is doing really well in this tournament, right? He is. So can we just have a look at the standings once?
We had a look at the standings, but very quickly 7th, 8th and 9th पे Hari, Praggnanandhaa and Vidit है. To tell you.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yes. Exactly.
So just very quickly for all those who are joined in, right now 7th is Pragg, 8th is Hari, and 9th is Vidit.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Cheshnak says, I always wonder if I can get a fraction of energy levels of Sagar Bhai, but fraction of energy levels से क्या होगा?
Yeah. You will get fraction of sleep. H4 can be useful now with the bishop on b2. He might go h5, h6 here. So Carlsen doing pretty okay out of the opening. Meanwhile, Vidit has rerouted his knight here.
So knight, d4 आ गया.
D4.
इसको d4 मिल गया, तो then he should be better, right?
Not sure. I mean, already this is a very interesting position because white has got d4, which he generally gets, and black has managed to get his knight to g6, which is also something that black wants. So both sides can be happy with what they have got out of the opening.
So knight f1, white would go with the plan of knight f1, right? Eventually, and maybe bishop e3.
Knight f1, knight g3, yes.
Things like that. Okay. Chalo.
But you know, Amruta, like for example, if you play, say I go c6 and you play knight f1, then I think you should take with the knight here maybe.
Yes.
But if you take with the pawn, then I was thinking of d5, e5 and knight e4. And here
but still queen.
Winning this pawn is not really something because bishop d5 and black is doing really well.
Oh, because you take on f3 and then you win back on the d4 pawn.
At least.
Got
so
Oh, this is nice.
But you can
Good
always
idea.
go like knight g3, and if this happens, then white is better.
Because of that bishop on c2,
Yeah.
especially. It's so beautifully placed.
So
Okay.
there are all these concepts, and I think black would not want to take and play d5 at the wrong moment, because here we saw that white gets an advantage. So Vidit has to be patient here with bishop c2. It looks like Anish has got a very nice center,
Exactly.
but Vidit should figure out a way of how to continue. Maybe he can go c6 is one plan. There is also rook e8, another move. How about knight f4? No, knight f4,
No,
then
he played
e5.
rook e8. He did play rook e8 with it. No,
So rook
he
e8 and knight f1 by Anish. So Anish playing very calmly. He wants to put his knight here.
Yeah. Can we also have a look at the opening of Harikrishna, Sagar?
Yeah.
Because
Harikrishna
Mamedaru
with
is
white.
playing with, and
Harikrishna goes knight f3, knight f6, g3, g6, bg2, bg7, castles, c4, c5, knight c3, d5, takes, d3, knight c6, bishop e3. And here one of the main moves also goes bishop b2, which is theory.
okay.
But he went queen e6. What sort of a move is that? Giving up a pawn. Actually,
Mamedaru is prepared like anything.
yeah, Mamedaru seems. No, I don't know. Bishop b2, rook b1, bishop f6, queen d2, and now b6. And what about knight d4 now? Is that a
Knight
playable?
d4?
Yeah, knight
Wait.
d4, knight d4, bishop d4,
bishop
d4, bishop a8.
But can I give that? No, I cannot, because I'm not even getting the g2 bishop.
Okay, it's knight d4, bishop d4. Now rook b8 has to be played, otherwise you lose the rook.
Correct.
And take. And if you take with the queen now, d4 with the idea of e3 gives white a small edge like a4, a4.
Really? I would think this position is equal because I have a majority on the queen side, and I'm fine with the position.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
would be okay to play this.
Maybe it's around equal. So,
ठीक है. So this
oh,
will
by the way,
be
Amruta,
equal.
what did we just see? After knight f1, Vidit did take, and this was not so well timed as we
Acha.
discussed.
First he needed a pawn on c6 maybe, right?
Yeah, maybe
Because
c6,
to go
wait,
d5.
not so soon. Because take d5 as we discussed, e5, knight e4, and now
Similar to what we saw, with only difference was instead of the pawn on the c6, there is a rook on e8.
Yes.
So why? Okay, it's the same almost.
take,
in that sense.
take.
And this is a pleasant position for white. Again, because of
Yeah, as you said, this bishop looks very strong. This bishop is strong. But maybe with it,
yes, exactly. I think that is the reason he didn't play c6. उसको लगता रहेगा कि it's a waste move, right? Anyway, in the future, you have to go c5.
he wants to go c5 in one go, Amruta, but bishop e3. Anish is like, if you take on d4, I'll take bishop d4. e5 is a very powerful pawn for me. But the main thing is the bishop on c2. What a strong bishop. And Vidit goes rook c8. He wants to put pressure this way on the c2.
Right. In fact, there can be exchange sack also in the future, if required. Also, look at the knight on g6. उसको ना h4 है, ना f4 है, ना e5 है. कुछ भी नहीं. Badly placed knight. So this is already a better position for Anish, in a way.
Yeah.
How is Praggnanandhaa doing with Van Forest?
Yeah, let's have a look at it. They have started, and ooh, look at Pragg. He's pushed all his pawn all the way to h6. So g6, e4, bishop e2, bishop e3, a5, h4, a4, a3, e5, d5, knight bd7, h5, takes. And Amruta, you know, these are so many very interesting decisions, because if you want to attack, you always want the h file open. You don't want to give up your dark squared bishop because it helps you to exchange this dark square bishop and attack. But here he takes and plays h6. So more than attack, you are going for positional play.
Yeah.
And more with engines, we are seeing that instead of taking here, like playing this way, where black keeps getting counterplay, h6 has become the standard way to play in such positions.
Also because it is so long term for the backend ideas.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it does create a lot of irritation. It's in black's game. As you had said, yeah, it's like a poker. Just without even doing this, it's a poker.
Yeah, but you know, recently there was this game of Firouzja versus Bogdan Daniel Diash, and same concept. Diash plays h6 against Firouzja, so it seems like the new generation
Yeah.
prefers, like, have forgotten the words of the great Bobby Fischer, who used to say, against the dragon, I play my h pawn down the board and then sack mate.
Yeah. But
But-
for Dragon, that's true.
But
Bobby Fischer was right.
now the new concept seems to be, I push my pawn to h6, I cramp you here, and then in the end game I grind you out.
रात और सारे प्लेयर्स को रात को बॉबी फिशर आएगा सपने में. Okay.
Oh,
So nice.
by the way, Amruta, that in that game with Hari, knight d4 was
What?
played.
But
And
okay,
he
he
took with
went
the
for
bishop.
bishop takes
Bishop
d4.
takes.
Got it.
And now if you let this bishop live, like bishop a1, then white would be just dancing with happiness because the dark squares are weak. But Mamediaro says, no dancing. takes. And I have a feeling that after I take, and maybe king g2, white is the only one who can kind of realistically press.
Am I getting back the exchange anyhow?
How? No, you are not.
Uh,
You're not. I think white is just
so am I
slightly
getting any d3 pawn or something? Let's say bishop a6, bishop e4.
No, bishop a6, I can even go this move. If you take on d3, I can go rook d1
If I go back c4, c4.
for rook e1.
Knight c3 ko rook c1 domination. And if my bishop was on a6, still you get the e7 pawn. Anyway.
Yeah, at the very least. Maybe rook d2, knight c3, rook
No, my knight
c1.
will get trapped anyway, Sagar. Wow, because I have to go knight b5 and a4.
Or maybe knight a4, but I'll go rook d7, and then this is hanging.
Yeah, rooks
So-
are just too powerful. So why did
Actually,
he give this exchange sacrifice here when it was clearly not giving him anything in return?
well, it's Mamediaro's way of playing chess. You can't understand it very all the time, but Mamediaro just likes to create messy
Yeah.
positions. Queen e3 he might go.
By the way, let's look at Magnus's game for a while because people really want, those who have joined late, want to see that Magnus played h4. पहला मूव एक बार दिखा दो. Yes, this is real. Magnus played h4.
Yeah, but
happened.
in the end, Magnus has transposed this into an endgame where h4 is kind of
Fine.
useful,
Absolutely useful.
and white is slightly
So
better.
not yet the fun of h4, I think. He still has to play like...
But he will manage to outplay Wei Yi, because now with rook c1, c5 square is weakened, pressure down the c file, white is better slightly, at least slightly. Oh, by the way, look at this. Vidit seems to have gone wrong somewhere. Because bishop e3, rook c8, king h2, good move, takes, bishop takes, knight takes, queen b6. And we have this position on the board. Vidit is putting pressure here on b2 and he would be very happy if Anish goes b3. But look at this idea, Amruta. If I take,
If G6.
you have to take, and now my knight is superior to your bishop, and I play b3, or I play queen d2. This just the same position like what we have on the board.
So are you saying the difference is that black gets an opportunity to move his knight from G6 because he didn't take, is my question. So if he has played B3,
Yeah.
right now
Knight F8.
Vidit has to try and go back with his knight because. But Sagar, कुछ भी बोल
He
यार.
played it. No,
ये
no.
Bishop C2 is like ये मेरी जान है.
नहीं, but तुम्हारी
कैसे दे
see
दूँ?
the thing is that you should not get attached to things there. You should also see that what remains on the board. Okay, you gave up the bishop, but now look at your knight. Isn't this your Jan also?
नहीं ना, जान एक ही थी वो.
Look at this. It's a Jan. It's a great. It's the life of the position. Plus, bishop is a bad blockader of passed pawn. I have a passer. So this looks pretty one-sided to me. But okay, I mean, keeping the bishop also makes sense.
Yeah,
I
and also
completely get
in
you.
your perspective, I think वो night तुम्हारी जान है शायद because you love knights. I understand, but I'm sure if I ask people, would you like to give away that bishop? बहुत ही मुश्किल हो जाएगा.
Oh, but now, Amruta,
Oh, even bishop d7. So again, the choice is to take.
it's time to think of some tactics. I think Anish needs to calm himself down and find this really exciting move, e6.
Fe6 not possible. G6 is hanging. Bishop
Oh, he
e6.
plays
Oh,
it.
he played it.
Plays it. Now take. Yes, good
Takes.
move. Have to take. Forced. Vidit can't think. Takes.
Take. So rook queen
Take.
d5.
Now pin.
Are you saying this is going into a complete exchanges and king pawn endgame?
How? Because if you take rook e6 next after rook e8, then queen will take. So not yet rook and pawn endgame, but I can go rook e6. If you go rook e6, then rook e1. But if you go rook e6, queen e6, then I have queen a5 and I'm pawn up.
Or do I want to take, or I just want to maintain? But then the next move, black king is going to h7, right? Black king is going to h7.
Yeah, exactly.
तक ऐसा नहीं है कि I have all the time in the world.
You can try to play like rook e6, rook e6, rook e6 here, then rook e1. If king f7, then queen d7. This is over because king f6, rook f1. This king is getting mated. So queen takes e6 is important.
अरे वाह, Rakshit Singh, Akshay Patel, both of them had mentioned e6 before it was played.
Very nice.
Very nice, guys.
How much do you think is this position winning? Because rook takes e6, he has played it.
Acha, queen a5.
Takes, and now queen takes has happened. Queen a5 also has happened. I think Anish has been in great form, right? in
Yeah,
this
I think
tournament?
firstly this looks good for few reasons. One is the rook is behind the pawn. Two.
Rook is
अरे लास्ट गेम विदित और वेई का पूरा यही था, रुक behind the pawn.
Yes, but rook will come out behind the pawn. Then you'll be like, oh, he's lost his advantage.
Okay, that's true. So, what Vidit can try to do is that he will try to, let's say, put some pressure here, I think, on white king. Because white is going to try to convert a passer.
I don't
Get a
think.
passer.
I don't think
so
he
Vidit
will.
may try to weaken this. Or what else? Otherwise, how will he continue? Just
He
being
is in a
pawn?
very difficult position now because this is kind of one-sided without much counterplay. And such positions are the toughest to play.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to find counterplay. Too much slip up today.
You have to, but it's not easy to find. Rakshit says Queen A6, but Rakshit, I'm not sure if I will take this.
No, he's asking what's the
But
evaluation after takes.
This is, I think, should be clearly better for white, because after Rook C1, now you don't want to go passive with black, so you go active Rook E2. Then I'll go A4. You go here, and now Rook C6.
Acha, Rook C6.
Take. Rook takes G6. And anyway, you're going to win this. So then you will be 2 pawns.
नहीं, but अगर Rook C6 को A5 खेल सकती हूँ ना?
Take.
Rook B3 को anyway are you winning the pawn? Oh, then it is winning because you have 2 pawns.
No,
Two
G5 you
extra
can
pawns.
be. G5.
अच्छा.
And this is drawish. Very drawish.
A pawn के साथ draw है. So then if G5 you don't have
Here
to
you
take
go
here,
Rook B6. And A5. Maybe G4. And here it seems like this position is closer to a draw.
Correct.
To me. At least like.
No, I mean if I get my king here, then I might get my king here. Now I want to go here actually. Then I'll have to calculate Rook G2. I'll keep my rook on B5 though. So whenever you take Rook G2, I will take Rook A5. That can't be a draw, right?
Yeah.
So how is it a draw? No, it can't be a draw. So just to make a few moves, King F7, Rook B, no, not immediately. King G3, King E7.
No. G6 maybe. Just keep active.
G6, King F3.
Maybe Rook
No,
B5.
first King F3. Why will I allow you King E6?
H5.
Important.
I'm trying to at least create some play.
GH.
GH. So that if your king starts to
G4,
run there,
sorry.
and when I take on G2, my pawns
No,
are also.
but I'm playing G4 here.
Yeah, but G4, H4.
Acha, your H pawn is also Rook B5
Oh, by
now.
the way, this has happened, Amruta. This has happened in some way, in a different way. He's played it this way.
So black retains the B7 pawn instead of the A pawn. I don't know which one is better. It's very hard.
Very instructive endgame. My intuition would say black would draw this like 5, at least 50% of the time, 5 out of 10 times. But the engines are screaming like a huge advantage to white.
Yeah, this is really huge. So in fact, what the engines were recommending was for black, it is better to have the A pawn than the B pawn. If you see, Sagar.
No, I don't know exactly. But also the idea here, look at this, is to go Rook F1. And you might say why. So the point is after Rook E2 to play A4. And then Rook E3, you have Rook F3 to defend actively. So instead of going in and exchanging the pawns, you keep your pawn structure here with your rook on F3.
And also stop the black king. Wow, this is a very nice.
So let's say you do this and Rook E1, stopping the king. Then maybe now Rook F4 with the idea of Rook B4.
No, I don't see Rook E3. I would say see Rook B2.
Yeah, Rook B2, same
Rook F3.
point.
And now let's say G5. Because I am not allowing a rook to move now,
G4.
at least. King H7, King G3, King G6.
This is over, Amruta. This game is just gone. Because now your king is cut off this way.
Okay.
If not here, I'll cut it off here, this way. And I'll go tuck, 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 tuck. And this is over.
Okay. Nice.
So Anish,
So then it's clear.
Anish found it. Beautiful move by Anish Anish Girish. Wow. Let's go to Praggnanandhaa's game and see what he's up to, because Anish seems to be totally winning. What a great endgame technique.
This is really something to learn.
So Pragg playing against Jordan and they have played a lot of moves. But look at this. Pragg, not much progress has been made because Pragg has been moving around. Tadan, 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 tadan,
Oh, that
tadan,
king is an A1.
tadan, 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 tadan. Oh, he's just moving around a bit here and there. And I think then he will, at the right point, break with f4.
Such a close position for 6 minutes versus 10 minutes.
And if you take, I'll take. And then I have this huge phalanx of pawn. But if you don't take, I'll go f5.
No, but 1 second. Van Forest is not sleeping.
No, he's awake.
I mean, he's going to try to play b5.
Yes, but
And
then
then
that,
that
oh look, Pragg has got f4.
Correct. So can you go b5 right
Oh,
now is hanging, right?
By the way, let's quickly check what Harikrishna is up to.
Yes,
Can
yes,
he
yes,
win another game against Shak? Here, Hari is an exchange up, but Shakriyar somehow has this nice knight now, which is kind of unmovable. Let's see how this goes. And Anish and Vidit, oh, he's played b5. And do you think now, Amruta, Anish goes a4? Because after take, this brings us to the very famous game between Capablanca and Botvinnik Capablanca. Do you know it? Very famous rook endgame.
Remember it anyway.
I can pull it up from our very famous. I think our some of our experienced viewers might know it. No, I'm sorry. Capablanca, Alekhine, not Botvinnik. Alekhine, Capablanca it was. World Championship. White won. Alekhine was white. It was a rook endgame. Very famous one.
And do the guys in the chat know that earlier times there used to be adjournment, there were no chess clocks, so the game would be stopped and they would get to analyze at home.
Yes.
And then the next day they would come with their analysis and play. Man.
That was cool times.
Huh.
So here's the famous game. Can I pull it up and show?
हाँ एंड शो कर लो.
Amruta is like, हाँ,
Game.
okay. एंड शो कर लो. इतना मेहनत से मैंने निकाला. You are not
नहीं,
even
पूरा
impressed.
अरे ये एनालिसिस तो रात के 6 घंटा देख पाएंगे. क्या वेरिएशंस पे वेरिएशंस पे वेरिएशंस पे वेरिएशंस. क्या बात है.
Where did our live board go?
But yeah, the only thing is live game भी मिस नहीं करना है इसके लिए.
Yeah.
But one thing is true, Sagar. I think for black, A pawn was better than B pawn. Very surprisingly though.
So here's the game. अरे यार.
Anand Narayanan says 30 seconds for Pragg game, 40 seconds for Hari game, 10 minutes for VD game. With more international channels coming up, Chess India will lose the glamour if this pattern continues. Which pattern? Which pattern is it, Baba?
Pattern. Just it is in his mind. Some pattern.
Do you have a recommended book for endgame positions? For sure, endgame के काफी books है. One of them is Harikrishna is rook endgames related. There was this book which was great. There is sharp endgames, but that's
I'll
a little doubt.
go there.
Endgame as well.
F4, Queen E8, F5. That's what we discussed. Bishop G5, Knight F3. Knight goes here, attacks the bishop, and I think Pragg has somehow managed to really go now G4, G5.
Yeah, this is crushing. Well, I mean, if black does not get b5 forever, then white has all the time in his life.
He goes bishop.
Black has to get
He
something.
wants to put the bishop.
तो कुछ भी नहीं है black के पास. हाँ, now he is bishop d4 trying to take on c3 and go b5. That's what he is going to find. But
You
that
mean this
time
way?
but
Take,
that time
take.
anyway without the bishop on f6.
But E5 is hanging.
Yeah.
So Pragg
I think
very.
Pragg has positionally crushed
Yeah.
Forest. Already it is
And look at
positionally
Pragg.
winning.
He's just very calmly sitting there, making his moves, and outplaying a world-class GM without giving him any counterplay. That is the main thing. Meanwhile, after B5, Anish is very seriously thinking whether he should go A4 or not. Magnus Carlsen, better, as we just said, he's going to positionally outplay Wei Yi because C5 square, it's a lot of advantage to him. Harikrishna, not so easy for him to convert this, although he has a clear exchange here. The knight on d4 is beautifully positioned, and also pressure on the a2 pawn means that it's not easy for the rooks to be activated. So let's see. Oh, he's gone g5, Amruta. Is that a free pawn?
Knight g5. Is there any tactic? Doesn't seem like it.
It's just a free pawn.
Yeah, you can actually take there.
But Pragg is not ready to take it easily. He's thinking.
He has rook h5? No, but then black will go f6. So does he have f6? But then black will go queen
When you
d8.
go queen c1,
f6?
take.
Oh, lost.
And if you take, then I take here, mate.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Queen c1 is... But queen c1, queen g5. And then you take it eventually, no? Queen c1 ko queen g5.
No, queen.
Queen c1 ko queen g5. Queen d8.
Yeah, queen d8, then maybe knight.
Okay, anything is possible. So Pragg is clearly better here, but he has 3 minutes, but still
So
is clearly
just a
better.
round up, Amruta.
Yes.
Carlsen will beat Wei Yi, most likely. Vidit looking in a tough situation, but very important moment here. What will Anish do? And you can see him really focused. Aryan Tari beat Sam Shankland. Equal between Abhimanyu and Nils. Praggnanandhaa's move, very important, what he does here. Harikrishna, slightly better with Mamedyarov. Not sure if he may be able to convert this because Mamedyarov has strong knight and pressure.
Yeah.
Eric Hansen better against Gawain Jones better against Eric Hansen, and draw in David Anton and Ding already.
But
So which
amazing
game
that
to follow?
Mamedyarov from that position he's managed to, even fight.
B5 happened.
B5
so he
is a
took knight
desperate
G5, B5. First you were like B5 is a great attempt.
No, it was important, but हो ही नहीं रहा है ना. CB5 आ रहा है. Now black is planning to play bishop c3. It's important.
No,
कब
I'll
तक
take
कुछ
here.
भी नहीं करेगा. Even if you lose, you have to play moves like b5.
What do you do now? Because if you take, I have
Yeah.
bishop B5.
Good question. If I take with the bishop takes bishop, bishop takes
Bishop takes,
And now wait, I don't.
and just come back.
Achha, you wanna
So
come
then
back.
you just go G5, G6, and it's very difficult with the bishops to create much counterplay with the knight already on C3.
Yeah, that knight on c3 defends b2 indirectly, actually.
Oh,
and even the rook on h2.
that's why Amruta,
Yeah.
to B5, CB5, he didn't go knight B5 because he realized he will take with the bishop. So he took with the bishop and knight F3.
But at least black has something to fight. This was some counterplay from the position which he had. It was so bad. Why? Okay, tell me something. White looks here like clearly the bar
like
is very happy. What?
Here, and then queen C1 is his point. And every time he's saying queen C1 because let's say after some move like this, just come back, and with the queen at threatening here.
Hey, what if b2 is protected with the rook on h2? But then why not bishop takes a6 here instead of knight f3?
Yeah, you can even take this.
You're winning a rook, na? Okay.
But that's how strong.
Knight f3 because queen g5, queen g7 mate he wanted. Rakshit says Anish didn't play a4. Anish blunder बोल रहे हैं सब लोग. Anish blunder. क्या हुआ?
Anish, I think mouse slip or what? A3. What is the point of A3?
a3 is
Rook e3, rook f3.
I think what's the point I feel he wants to play b4, rook c3, rook c5.
Yeah, possible.
Like जब rook e5 पे था.
Possible. But Vidit definitely has chances now with rook e1, rook e2 going behind here. Should be interesting. Should be an very interesting
Yeah,
endgame.
nice rook endgame we are getting to see.
But here the move a4 Amruta would have, I think, I don't know what is it that Anish exactly didn't like. Maybe he didn't like rook e3 here.
But then I go
But
rook
then
b,
where is rook
rook
f3?
f3 anyway.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't like something like this.
Maybe he didn't like b4 by any chance. No, b pawn should be winning, no?
Yeah. Also,
Already.
king is cut off, no? Here. Wei Yi holds this, that would be epic.
Oh, Magnus versus Wei Yi.
Oh, and now he's got his king out. But this is exactly the best case scenario for Vidit, I feel, Amruta. The way he has, now he has pressure here and here, and the king, in order to get active, the rook will have to move away, because we were looking at.
No, but it is black
Many
to play. So you are saying that black को king h7 खेलना ही नहीं है. Then this rook becomes a little free.
G6.
So rook a1 and rook a2 is one
No,
idea.
I have G6 h5 as an idea, so I'll play G6.
G6 is a good idea. G6 h5. Do you think G6 h5 is easy to consider? VD can hold this. That's what people are thinking.
Very important game for Vidit actually. In order to qualify for top 8, if he is able to hold this, would be amazing. Anish already in top 8, yeah, like he's right at the top right now. Pragg, by the way, Amruta, seems to have lost much of his edge, as it happens in King's Indian always. Knight f3 takes, rook b6, pressure here. Now knight takes d4 was important, but he played rook c2, and now rook came in. Now your threat is to take. If you take with the rook, b2 hangs. If you take with the pawn, a3 hangs. So queen d2. But now threat, by the way, big threat, mate incoming. So just play f6, stopping here.
So all the time that queen on c1 was very good. That's why on those dark squares. But we never imagined this position. Oh, king f8 blunder.
Yeah.
Queen g5 with the idea of queen g5 with the idea of f6, and then queen g7 mate.
No, queen g5, rook b2, Amruta. There is knight d4, and if you take rook c2, I have knight c2. And if you take,
But I want to play f6 with the idea of queen g7 mate. Acha, you have queen b5 kya? Queen d7 kya? Queen
yeah,
b5,
if you play f6, I'll move my queen away. I'll make way for my king.
Mate hai hi nahi immediately.
No, it's possible to also play this. So king f8 is a big mistake. Actually, f6 stopping queen g5 was important.
Acha.
But
g5, but people will be scared, yeah. Anyway.
Queen g5, he is gone in. No, he's not taken on b2 yet. Oh, meanwhile, Harikrishna seems to have gotten himself into big trouble now. So, all of a sudden, Mamedyarov takes on a2. If you now take rook a3, then there is this fork. Oh. How does Mamedyarov is such a player, I would hate facing him. He's always there with some or the other tactics. Hey, Amruta, is the knight here trapped? This knight? No, there is this knight sitting here. Okay, draw.
Niels versus Abhimanyu. Good result.
Look at this. He's gone rook e3, king f3, and if given time, he would love to go this way. But the moment he goes to e4, he comes to e6.
But ठीक है ना?
d4, d6.
King d5.
No, king e4, king e6.
G3 h4 is a good idea or a bad idea?
Yeah, g3 you have to maybe play.
Anyway, just play because you
now
don't really have an option.
can we go rook h2 and win this pawn?
Then I'll go rook e5.
goes king e6, king
King
f6.
f6.
Now
Now he's threatening rook h2
why?
because there is no rook e5.
But there was no rook e5 anyway, because here rook e5 I just go back.
Acha. So king f6, why is the computer not so happy?
Because here and h4, and it is white who is creating more play than black.
So did black should black have played g6 here instead of king f6? Like what should he have
Rook
played?
h2.
And let's say I go rook e5
Oh, by the
because
way,
I don't care about the h3 pawn.
I told you, no, rook a2
I
back.
know. But I'm
But here, Amruta, king here, king e4, king e6. And now h4. I think Anish can play that because king d4, king d6 is there.
तो h4 के बाद zugzwang जैसा आ रहा है.
Played
He
it.
played h4.
Nice.
There's more like a zugzwang
Nice.
now.
This is really tough for Vidit now because yeah, it's like a zugzwang, sure.
Yeah. Anyway, rook h3 was not an idea as people mentioned because rook would get trapped with king g2.
No, it was not. But it stops
Yeah.
your king from moving forward.
Correct, correct.
It's just like आ रहा है मैं मार रहा है like मारेगा नहीं लेकिन मार रहा है. It's no threat.
Okay, so the double pawns are gone. G5, super not a good move because
Take, and look at Anish there. Anish knows he's got it. He's got this. Rook h3, very nice move, very smart move. Check and king को घुसाओ.
अच्छा, not
Even-
king f5 क्या? I thought check.
Or he will first go king here. Okay, firstly,
Wait,
what
still
about
think.
rook g2?
Rook h6 check. And
Check.
king f5.
King,
Wherever you go, king f5.
I think,
King f5.
king f5. Here?
I don't care. King g5. Or rook h6.
Just save it, no? And then this falls.
I do care. Rook
Yeah.
h6.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Pragg's queen has entered g5. Let's see who's going to get to the king first. Is Pragg going to checkmate his opponent? Is there a checkmate on the board, Amruta? You want to go f6 and mate.
Mate नहीं है यार. That's the sad part. f6, the queen moves. Queen g7 check. King e8. Queen g8 check. King d7. You don't even have queen f7. That knight on d6.
But you can always exchange queens if his queen is here because that endgame should be winning.
Material. What is the material? अभी आता है. Yes, you are a pawn up.
Okay, by the way, Vidit goes after here. Vidit plays rook here, threatening a check. Anish goes king d4. If you give a check, he wants to go here and pick this up. So rook c2 stopping. Check. King goes back. And now,
18 seconds for Vidit.
yeah, king d5, king e5. Okay. Yes, the main thing is that if you go here, I have king f5. If you go rook c3, I have rook a6.
दोनों pawns, both the pawns are being protected.
Rook
That's
c3,
the
rook
whole
a6. He might go rook f3 to cut the king off this way.
But then I'll go rook a5.
Yes, this rook is working very much overtime. It is just, its job is to keep cutting this king. Like, see, rook a6, rook here. If you go here, cut karo jaldi nahi to king idhar aa jayega. So, you know, it's a horrible job. Meanwhile, Amruta f6 did happen. Queen g5, queen e7 was played.
Oh, queen e7 to helps f6.
Queen d8.
He provoked f6 in fact. Because, you know, even if you exchange the queens now, towards the end there is always a threat which you must be alert for. Rook b2, rook b8 nahi mara hai. Rook
Yeah.
b2 and bishop c3.
Yeah. But how about I take here now?
cd4,
CD. And now I go queen g7.
king e8.
And now take this. Important pawn. Why not?
So queen g8 में पढ़ना ही नहीं है.
No, now तो mate ही करूंगा मैं. Knight c5 and mate.
हाँ ना, वो जो मर रहा है वो खा ही लो ना, सिंपल
Oh, he
से.
takes on e5. Nice.
Yeah.
He's threatening
So,
check and mate, Amruta. This is
oh,
controlled.
correct. That's why Rook
D7.
B2 is not working, Sagar, right now. You
Rook
don't have
b2
time
check
for now.
here and mate.
Nice. Pack rank mate incoming.
Ooh.
1 minute for both. Abhi nahi ho. Abhi I don't think any
Yeah,
reset
Pragg
is
will win this.
possible.
Pragg will win. And actually, Pragg has had a tough day, no, today?
Yeah, kind of. You're right. In fact, right now, how do you save the mate? Bishop E5 only move
Bishop
now.
e5 on knight e8. He goes knight e8 and Pragg goes knight c6. Oh, the fork ho gaya. He's going to win an exchange.
No, is he even going to go for that?
Like knight is if he allowed knight
97
e7
queen
and
g8
mate,
mate. Yeah.
but
Forced take
I think he'll take
Bishop
queen. Oh, he
F6.
took bishop takes. Pragg can just come back, no, Amruta, because then he can just win this.
Correct.
It's a lot of material.
Queen F5.
Hey, Lucina on the board coming up. See, what happened was here king e5, rook here, king f5. He gave up this pawn. He didn't go and save it. And now he has... The king is cut off by several files. You can see Vidit there, almost ready to resign there. Because, you know, Amruta, king g6, g5, king g7, g6. Just keep pushing, king f6. The king is cut off by too many files.
But still, you need to build a bridge, no? Anyway.
No bridge needed. Just rook f1 and king f8 just wins. Or rook h1 and king h8 and wins. Yeah, rook f1. That's the trick. Vidit has to resign. Anish Giri beats Vidit. What a game by Anish. Excellent game. Showing great opening prep. And overall, just crushed him.
But that endgame was a little interesting.
Look at this.
Last
trick.
cute move.
Last trick on online chess. And there you have Anish beating Vidit. That's a big result for Anish. I mean, it's just that they both have many good games between them, and this was a very important win. Praggnanandhaa, meanwhile, Amruta has... What has he done? I think he's won already. Yeah, he's won. He's won.
Oh, last
Pragg
few moves,
after knight c6, bishop f6, queen f5. Resigns.
This is also over.
What a game by Pragg. Just in between he gave one chance, but apart from that, excellent game.
Oh, by the way, what's up with Magnus?
Magnus is
Wei Yi.
winning.
Again rook end games. So many rook end games happened, and even Wei Yi versus Vidit last game was a rook end game.
No, but this is...
This in fact looks like Lucina. That king on h4 is cut. Super cut. Wow. आज तो मतलब rook end game का training ही हो गया है. Rook e1. How do you progress here? King f4. तो rook f1 check आएगा.
We just rook h7. This king g3.
Oh, how do you progress? King f4, if I go, then you are giving rook f1 check, right? King e3 I will go then. Rook e1 check, king f2. Has Hari finished his game, by the way? Yeah, Hari has
lost.
Hari has lost. Okay. So we have right now this game. Okay, he went with the king to f8. Rook f7. Finish.
Queen.
This h pawn would
queen
be a
draws.
draw.
Amruta, queen draws. Queen draw. Rook e8, king e8, and king g3. So you have only move rook g7 now. Actually, for Magnus to win this, not easy. Look at Wei Yi, so calm, cool, collected.
But Magnus would know this book endgame. This is a book endgame, no?
It's very difficult to calculate this. Oh, Magnus played it. Magnus blunders. Wei Yi is able to hold this now. King f4, king f3, king f4. Wow. But how to win that endgame is a question. King f3, rook h7, king g4.
Papre.
Has
But
Magnus
E8
seen a
was
win or not?
too quick.
King f7, king e7,
Then-
h4. Ooh, look at Magnus. He knows now he's botched it up.
Oh.
h3, king g3. He's going to win. He's going to draw this by a tempo king g2.
So maybe he didn't find it, Sagar. He
Yeah.
didn't find a win.
Yeah.
He did try.
But
and-
there was a win. There was
Yes,
a win.
how? I'm very curious
King G.
later.
And now check, Amruta. Don't go to h1. Oh, here, very important. Yeah, queen. Draw. Draw. Wei Yi manages to hold. Wow.
At least Wei is happy that h4 के against draw तो किया.
I think the move the move here was Amruta. Here, check.
Let us find.
King
no?
G8.
थोड़ा बताओ, थोड़ा पूछो.
And rook e1.
questions. हाँ.
Myself, I'm not sure how to win this, but
Okay.
trying to understand. Because if the world champion didn't find it with time on the clock,
I'll tell you maybe. King h7 खेलो.
an idea is
King h6 पे आएगा.
no, king h7, king
फिर
h3.
same ही आ रहा है. हाँ, then I don't want your pawn to be pushed, otherwise then it will go to an easy draw, correct? है ना?
Yeah.
तो क्या रहेगा यार इधर? How to win this?
Oh, it's so subtle, Amruta. It's so subtle. ये देखो, ये जो है ना, this, you have to interchange the position of these two pieces.
Time का है.
How? Like this. See, you have all the time in the world. You are queening now, correct? If he plays this, now you can queen. Because then what happens is that the king is cut off on the g file. So then I can, this is winning. Like king f6.
Can't change. King g6, king f6, h3, king
Now,
f5, king h1,
King f5, king h1.
king f4,
This is the typical wait.
h2, king g3.
King g3, king here. And just move this away. Or there's also another way, king h3, and you are winning.
Yeah.
So it's clear, right, that you cannot
Yes.
let this happen. So you have to give a check.
Check.
You give a check. Now I go king e8. If you go king h3,
I will.
I will go king d7.
क्या खेलोगे? King d7 or something else.
I was thinking rook g5.
h4, rook e5.
No, now king d7 wins.
No,
make a
rook
bridge.
e1.
Rook e1.
Again e8 is draw.
Rook e5 is coming.
Time है इतना.
Yeah.
Rook e7 इधर खेला तो?
No, then it's winning.
is-
No. This is
Even if my pawn is on h4, it's winning, क्या?
yeah, because I'm in time.
Oh, so rook e7 ideas are not easily working, basically. Got it. So rook g5 is a good move. If I and
Yeah.
then rook
So
e5
suppose
is coming.
you wait here like this.
Hmm.
Now thinking you go rook g8. Okay.
Now king h3 again.
King h3, king f7,
हाँ, rook f1 check.
rook f1, king g6.
If I go rook e1, e8 queen would win, right? Over here.
Yeah.
So rook g1 check.
King h7,
Force. Rook e1, king h.
queen.
अरे हाँ.
So now I have done it slightly differently from the fact that my king here I have taken with the rook.
हाँ, so नहीं, so तुम कट कर सकते हो ना मुझे, तो king g3
King g3.
या क्योंकि h4 के लिए तो
King
रुक g8
G6.
है ना तुम्हारे पास. इस h4 रुक g8 विन
What?
h4 के लो इधर.
1 minute. Yeah. h4, king g6.
h4 को king
I
g6 आ रहा है क्या?
Yeah, I can
g8
even go
win
rook
है क्या?
g8. Yeah.
हाँ, that's what I wanted to know.
Rook g8, king h2.
So even when my
king
king
here.
is on h7.
This is a typical win.
Yeah. So all the time, wherever my king is, I think that's a zone, I'm able to get in. And this is clearly winning.
If I cut you off, you can always get in. So here
Correct.
you can go king g3,
Hmm.
king g6, h4, king g5, h3, check, king g2, king g4, h2, check, king here and wins.
Oh, nice. Baapre.
Queen mate.
So
And
it was a.
knight, king here.
It was difficult, I think, right?
White
It was
wins. This
difficult.
is trapped, by the way, guys. Yeah, the main point, I think, if I have understood it correctly, is to get your rook to g8, move your king over like here to h7, and queen, and take with the rook. Because Magnus got a little bit impatient here and queen directly, which allowed king g3. And this is exactly what he had to avoid.
Got it.
Because here, Amruta, the king is coming this way. His king had to be here and the rook had to come this way with a check.
Nice. No, it was really nice. But thoda jaldi ho gaya na, then Magnus did have time to think, or he could have a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean, Magnus, I think, miscalculated. So here are the results and here are the standings now, Amruta.
Yes, please show the standings to the people. Everyone's like standings, please.
So standings are the following. Anish leading. Wow. Anish Giri leading the tournament with 24 points. Magnus 23. Ding 22. Wei Yi 20. Mamedyarov 19. Anton 18. Pragg in the top with 18. Harikrishna on 15. Aryan Tari on 15. Vidit on 14. I think all three Indians have good chance tomorrow.
Yes.
But who are they facing is an important thing to determine. So can we quickly look?
Yes.
Praggnanandhaa is facing Abhimanyu, Shankland and Vidit.
Oh, Vidit versus Praggnanandhaa would be an important
Last round.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe that way there one of them will qualify.
Yes.
Out of the two.
Possible.
Harikrishna has Van Forest, Abhimanyu and Sam.
Okay.
And Vidit has Tari, Grandelius and Pragg.
Got it. So everybody has a very good chance actually. Because they have played quite a lot of tough opponents. So I mean, who are performing really well right now in this event. So got it.
Anant Narayan says, I'm worried about India in Olympiad. Yeah, well, Anant Narayanan, I feel like these are all rapid games. So, and Olympiad is classical. So, it's not very easy to draw conclusions from here. But true, I mean, Adiban is playing in Sharjah now. And I feel like he has excellent chances in Sharjah. Let's see how he does there. And with it, of course, let's see tomorrow how he fares. Anish undefeated. Wow. Wow. That's something.
Yeah.
Anish versus Magnus last round, no, Amruta?
Huh?
No. Second last.
Second. सही है. सही है.
Let's see tomorrow what happens, guys. It's an important day. And who are the players who finished in top 8, then go to the quarters, then semis and then finals. Thank you all for being with us. I think the last round was filled with a lot of educational material, especially. I think I will work on this tomorrow to understand it deeper.
Arka says, Sagar, buy nice t-shirt. कहाँ से shopping करते हो? Sagar doesn't
gift.
shop. It's a gift.
Gift
T-shirt.
given. Most of the times I get good gifts of shirts and
yeah, we've not bought a shirt for him for I don't know how many years now. Anything else? Hayes says, or haze. Sagar by weight loss progress looking great. Keep going. Keep growing. Keep going. Arco Ray says Magnus is the king of endgame. Sagar, how would you rate Anish and Vidit? क्या हुआ?
No, I'm just.
Out of 10 when it comes to endgames, I think VD needs to work a lot on his endgames if he wishes to be in top 20 in rapid.
I think not endgame, but mainly conversion of winning positions or better position. But here not. I mean, in this tournament, I don't know. Here, check. King. Yeah, the point is, Amruta, to get the rook to the last rank. That is the entire point. So, here when we are going in, you have 2 points. You have two ways to play. One is to wait. If you wait, I'm anyway going rook g8. The other is you can come here, but then I'm going here. Now you have two ways. One is to push, then I'm building a bridge like this. If you are going to come back, then I'm going to win this crucial move with rook g8.
So I'll have to push otherwise.
Yeah, now this, and then I come out threatening to queen. Then you give a check. I come here, you give a check. I come here, you give a check. I go there. You play here, and now I queen.
Nice.
Queen, and then this stuff with king coming in. King g2, king here, here, check. You have to stay here to defend the pawn, and then king g2 wins. Because rook e1 mate, if you queen, so knight has to be made, and once the knight is a rook pawn, it's lost. If it was a knight pawn, it can go here, like if you move everything this side.
Nice, Sagar. That was a very good explanation.
Oh,
this end game.
I didn't show the board only.
अरे यार क्या कर रहे हो?
No, the
guys please जूते मारो, टमाटर मारो, सब कुछ मारो.
My analysis is, guys, just very quickly to show you the reason why Magnus lost was that here he queen. He had to cut the king off and he had to go in here, king e8. Okay. Now there are two ways to play. You can either wait, then I'll go rook g8 anyway, and then come out with my king this way when I'll queen and take with the rook, which is winning. Or you try doing this, then my key move here, I don't even think I need to do anything special, but rook g5 is what I thought is good. Now if you go h4, then I go king d7 and I build a bridge here with rook e5 and win. But if you go king h4 again, then I take this extra move with rook g8 and then I come out, check, again transfer my king to the h file, rook e1 and queen, and this is winning because my king comes like this, tuck, 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 check. You have to stay in touch with the pawn. King here, you can't queen, it's a mate, so you have to make a knight, and now I go here and I win because it's a rook pawn. Knight has no square here. If you shift everything one file, then this is a draw. So my last point, Amruta, which I want to just clarify, is, do I need to do all these antics, or in king e8, let's say if you play king h3, if I go king d7, not rook g5 business, if I go king d7 only, is this winning? King, check, king f7, check, king g6, here king h5 मार रहा है. So that is again one point, like move and
black king is on h3, so that helps.
Yeah. So king d7, I'm threatening to queen, check here, King f7 threatening to queen. If you play h4, queen takes, king h2, king f7, h3, king f6. Oh, no, wait one second. h4. Oh, you can't queen again. He's to rook g6 you need to play. Wow.
क्या why रुक जी तो इधर
To
queen
build a
नहीं हो
bridge.
रहा है
नहीं, इधर queen किया तो draw.
oh
Because
with the pawn on h4 and king on h3
yeah, because you wasted
one
too
move.
much time.
मैंने तो
I
माइंड
need
में
to get
डाला था कि
g3.
ये हो ही रहा है Got
So
it. So
here,
rook g6 if you play तो अभी rook e7 check आया तो it is okay
yeah,
even
now
if
you get that
because
one
that you are one file up already
yeah. Otherwise I'll go rook e6.
Okay, important that was
Or you just do this rook g5 thing.
हाँ rook g5 simple ना but वही
Yeah.
ठीक है वो ज़्यादा simple है that is pretty simple simple Indian food says we are thankful to Sagar for doing this yes thank you Sayud Paul says met Sagar sir twice during Tata's Field in Kolkata and at the chess club in Mumbai. Never saw a person so knowledgeable and humble.
Sayud, you have not met many people. I'm sure that knowledgeable part, if you meet a lot of people in the chess world, so knowledgeable, you should, if you go to a very good tournament like a GM Open and all, some amazing players. They work really hard to understand such positions. This one is relatively simple, even many more complicated ones. Okay, guys, let's call it a night. Oh,
क्या हुआ अभी कुछ ब्लंडर किया
no, I was just
but
thinking.
but Sagar let me tell you when you were explaining the whole thing there were 800 people who
Yes.
were watching this and I think it's a big thing because it was such a complicated end game which you were showing at the end 800 लोग ये 1:30 बजे great rook and game session it was I mean I'm believing 800 लोगों में से 400 सोए नहीं थे ठीक है
Okay, guys, take care. Good night. Tomorrow will be Anand's Blitz event. We'll enjoy it together, and also the last day of the qualifiers. So, happy Sunday to all of you. Take care. Bye bye. पानी भरना है
तुमको ना तुमको